Dang. My drink color is matching the color of my shirt. Interesting. What's good? We got one in here. We got one person in here. We're gonna try to get it's late night, you know what I mean? Gonna try to talk some smack. We definitely gotta see what's up with like the title says, see if the Americas are a safe place to travel right now. Especially if you're coming from the US. But let's see. I'll try this this setup. Let me know if my background music is too loud, too soft. Let me know what my audio looks like, my visuals look like. I'm gonna try to check here myself. Let me reload this. Okay. All right, we should be decent. I mean, it's not coming in at the highest quality, but it's decent from what I'm seeing. Man, okay, it's not bad. All right, I'm looking at this stream now. My last live stream I did, I was doing off of a Starlink connection, and somebody in the live chat was like, "Oh yeah, the video's not looking that great. It's out of focus, whatever." So I switched the stream to another source of the internet, and I can tell it was working, but it wasn't the best. And it seemed like when I reviewed it later, it seemed like the Starlink connection was the better connection. It seemed like it was clearer. But anyway, we're here with this one. We on Wi-Fi, and we got what we got. We got what we got. That's all I can tell you. So, y'all let me know in the chat what it be like. If the audio's good, visuals are good, then we'll get on topic. So we got 6 people in here. What time is it? It's 9:44. This is a late live stream. Sometimes you just gotta pop up. But this is a subject I really do want to talk about, because I'm planning to take some trips here pretty soon. And I'm starting to think that because of all the tensions and everything that's going on, that's actually been going on in Colombia, that maybe it's not a good time at this moment to fly to Colombia. I'm gonna tell you, man, like, as a country and just the raw culture of the people that I experienced up to this point from Colombia, regardless of what happens in the future, right? I've had really good experiences in Colombia. I take precautions, and I take their advice, put it like that. I take advice from Colombians on how to move, how to be safe over there. And it's most of the time it's worked out for the best. But with this stuff going on, I just feel like in a politically charged environment, you never know. Like, things could go sideways very fast. So I don't know. I got family in West Africa. I got family in West Africa, and at one point I visited there as a child, and my dad used to go back. Some summers I'd go with him, some summers I wouldn't, right? But one summer I didn't go, and he got caught up at the airport because they was shooting up the place like with helicopters, shooting up their old people. Or if I guess Russian made helicopters at the time. It was like in the 80s. Um, so yeah, I mean, am I gonna stop going there? No, I got family there, so that's not gonna. I mean, I won't go during that time if something like that's kicking off. But as soon as it calms down, I mean, we was back 2 years later. So things like this happen around the world, um, and and the situation hasn't got nowhere near as bad in anywhere in the Americas yet, and I hope they don't. But we do have to ask the question right now. Like, I think that how can I say it? I feel like the next few weeks are going to determine what the temperature is going to be. Um, and if you're there already, you probably know better than most what it's like at this moment. But that doesn't mean they're gonna stay like that. And if you're there and I feel like this: if you're there and you're having a good time and you're living your life, you know what I mean? Hey, I wouldn't suggest leaving just cause, but I would suggest tuning up your ears a little bit more and sharpening your eyes a little bit more, paying attention a little bit more than you normally do. Get out of your typical comfort zone and just be alert for a little while. If things get tight, you know what I mean? You open up. I don't know what this comment is about. We have to get rid of that. You got to be more more critical on what you dislike, my friend. But yeah, this is the news. This is the news. So I mean, but it's not like some things, a lot of things in the news are trendy. A lot of things are trendy, but when they affect you and your life, mm, maybe it's worth talking about. And especially it affects people that follow my channel for travel, stuff like that. So we will discuss. We will discuss. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I think that's and this is the issue too. By us talking about it online, more things air out. We can get a better feel of what's actually happening. I mean, there will be some some people who be throwing curveballs at people just because they think it's fun. And some people, you really do have to recognize there is a lot of jealousy towards people who travel. There's like a jealousy envy type of thing. um I will say it's pretty natural to be envious of people who go in places, enjoying themselves, having a good time. That's natural to a degree. But when you let it turn into something else where, you're just hating, and talking negative on people that travel just because you don't, or you can't, or you think you can't, you know, or even if you travel, somebody's traveling more to you, or they traveling to places, they seem to be having more fun than you when they travel. You gonna hate on them. Same stuff from kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, I mean, there's some parts of human nature. You could be an adult, but they don't really change. You just get better at hiding it. That's all. Well, you think you get better at hiding it, but some people still see straight through you, my friend. So it's a lot of that going on out there too. But we have to be real about the safety of things, be aware, and share pertinent, useful information, practical information that can be used by any traveler. Like, what's going on with Colombian immigration right now, or customs. Last I heard, I don't know if it's going on at every port of entry in Colombia, but last I heard, single guys that were going to Medellin were getting their phones checked. It's a hassle. Like, if you ain't got nothing crazy on your phone, you probably ain't got nothing to worry about. But still, though, going through somebody's phone, it's kind of I guess when you travel to these other countries, privacy is at their discretion, right? Your privacy rights is whatever they say it is. But when you travel around the world and that's the only country that's doing it, and like I said, I've heard that was going on. I've heard it from a few people online. Nobody I know personally has said they went there, had their phone checked, but I wouldn't put it past. Yeah, you never heard about that? Yeah, it's been going on. That's not new. That's been going on for like maybe at least a month, maybe 2 months. But yeah, at least a month. Let me put this chat up on the screen like I normally do. Hold on a second. Let me get it up here. Media assets, no. Right here, comments. Show on stage. There we go. I like that little feature, man. StreamYard finally leveled up. They got some other stuff going on in here that's kind of cool. Might have to start doing some more StreamYard. Yeah, so I don't know about Bogota. Possibly, right? But the thing I think about when I think about Bogota, it's the main port of entry. It's a lot of flights coming in, a lot of dudes coming in. So that's what I was thinking too. Like maybe not Bogota, but if you're going to Bogota, a lot of times I've gone to Bogota and I go there with the intention of being in Bogota for a few days and then figuring out if I want to go to another country or not. Most of the time, if I know I'm going to Medellin or Cartagena, I'll just try to get a flight directly there. So, I was thinking about going to Medellin, especially this time of year, to get away from the cold here. Bogota is straight, but one thing it's not always warm. You'll go there and there'll be some days where it's not as cold as the East Coast right now, but it's still, it can get down to low 50s at night. And some days it might only come up to the, low 60s. Or most of the day it'd be in the low 60s. And then the sun comes out and it's like 78 for a little while. Then it could rain, it could hail on you, all this stuff. Like this is all year in Bogota because it's close to the equator, but its base level is at 8,000 feet, I believe. The base level of most of the cities at 8,000 feet. So, it's not going to be hot at 8,000 feet nowhere on the planet. Just not a thing. So, escaping the cold, I wanted to go to Medellin because it's, like there, I think the average altitude, it's the same thing, right? Close to the equator, but it has altitude, but the altitude is, I think, 5,000 feet, close to 5,000. Actually, I'm working on this video and I say it's 6,000. If you watch it, it's 5,000 feet. So that video hopefully will be out this week. You know me. I be working on stuff, but it be getting delayed, man. But yeah, I got some stuff cooking. So that's another thing too, right? So I go to a place if I go to Medellin, I was planning on maybe going there after the holidays, right? Maybe prices of Airbnbs, hotels come down to normal. I got a friend out there I can see, spend a few days with, we can do some stuff. Um, and she's down for that, maybe making some videos and stuff like that. But then also I want to be there and have a cool place to just do some editing, catch up on some editing. But then if you got political tensions possibly brewing, then you got all this other stuff that they're they might be with the customs looking out for single American guys coming in. They want to check your phone, and if they do check your phone, then are they just tracking you the whole time? It's just not a real good look right now for as an American just trying to go to Colombia. I feel like their president is beefing with our president. Not our president and their president does not represent our people and their people's relationships with each other. Even if they agree with their president and we agree with our president, even those people, right? Does not reflect the relationship between Americans and Colombians, right? Because I feel like me personally, I've had really good experiences with Colombian people over the since 2014, the first time I went there, or even before I went there. I got Colombian friends here in the States, so, but yeah, ever since I went to Colombia, it's mostly good experiences. So I just hope that we don't go backwards, because at one point, all Americans would have never even thought of going to Colombia because of the situation they had down there I don't know how long it was going on before, but definitely up until the 90s might have been the peak of it. I don't know, but definitely even into the early 2000s. So let me get you up here. You said you need to go to Bogota soon. Have a good friend. They said yes. They told me about the temps. Yeah. As a single guy coming from Canada going to Colombia, what do I need to have in place? Well, you need to do going to Colombia. I think they still require you to do the CheckMig. CheckMig. CheckMig, short for check immigration, right? I think that's the app or the website you need to go to. You need to do that. I also think it's not all the time, but you want to have your return flight or onward flight booked, because they're going to ask you about that. And they might ask to see, I would say a good 60% of the time I go through, they ask to see that ticket or receipt of that ticket, either return or going onward. So a lot of times I like to book one-way trips and then just go from there. But I don't know, if you're booking a return, a round trip ticket, you ain't got nothing to worry about, but they will ask to see it. So make sure you taking snapshots of it if you're not going to have data as soon as you land in Colombia. That's another thing too. If you don't have a data plan that covers Colombia, then get you an eSIM online, like, Airlo or what's the other one? Mobi. Some guys talk about Mobi. There's a few of them out there, but you want to get that lined up. And then, you're from Canada, so you know how to prepare for cold weather. But I would say, you probably don't need your big jacket. But I'll say, people in Bogota, that's one good thing about Bogota is if you like wearing your winter clothes, your stylish winter clothes that you spend good money on, like a leather jacket, maybe some boots and stuff like that. Yeah, you can definitely wear that in Bogota, and it won't be out of the norm, especially at night if you're going out at night. Some nights might be warm, but yeah, Bogota, I would say in general. Let's see what the temperature is right now in Bogota. Let's pull it up. We got we on the internet. We could pull it up. Let's see, weather in Bogota. Looks like it's raining or drizzly, and that's the thing about Bogota. Yeah, let me pull this up for you. Let me drop this in. Can I do this? Let me see. One second. Share screen. Okay, there we go. Bam. Okay. So you see that? That right there is Bogota. That's Bogota. Typically. Drizzly. Damn, it's all week too. You might get some sun in there. Sun might come through. When it come through, it feels nice. I ain't gonna lie. But let's compare it with Medellin. $60. Oh, they got some thunderstorms happening now. Dang, it's raining there too. Okay, well. But you see the temperature range is a lot different. 74 to 60. That's one thing about, and here's the thing I noticed. I was there a year ago and I left on New Year's, right? I was there for about 3 months. So from October to January. October to December 31st. I left. I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina on New Year's. But when this season started, it was raining every day, but it started raining at around 3:30 and would go until about 5 p.m., 6 p.m. and stop. I thought that was kind of cool, actually. I was like, okay, it's going to rain for a while, for a few hours, and then it's going to pass. It happened consistently for at least a week, 2 weeks. That same schedule. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad. Weather was good. He said 53 ain't cold. It's not, but it ain't the tropics either. You feel me? And here's the thing. If it gets down to 53 at night, great. I love to sleep in temperatures like that. You get under the covers, perfect. Love it. Once it start getting down to like mid 40s, low 40s, it's like, damn, this joint biting. Start to bite. Then once it's down to the 30s, it's like, hold up now. Hold up. But here in the DC area, we did have the East Coast. I was down in North Carolina. We had one day, it was like 27 degrees in the Carolinas. I'm like, what's going on? And earlier that day, it was 60. It was 60 that day. That night, 27. I'm talking Fahrenheit. So for all the people that do Celsius, I'm not exactly sure. What's it like in Canada right now? Let's look up the weather. I'm gonna just go to where I've been in Canada, in Toronto. Toronto, Canada. Let's see what's up with you. 36. Got a little snow on Tuesday. Look like snow and rain. That's the worst. That's the worst when it's that wet snow. We get a lot of that in the DC area, the DMV. That's why nobody can drive. People say people in DMV can't drive in the snow. We don't even get snow. We get snow with water at night turns into ice. Who can drive on that? You know? I mean, I can drive on it, you know what I mean? I'll take my time. But the problem is, you got all these hot-headed young people that think either they got a truck or they think they got snow, no, not even snow tires, all weather tires, all-wheel drive. They think that's gonna save them. They think they can just blow by, not knowing they could easily, kill themselves. But even worse than that, kill somebody else when you thought you was just handling business, but you weren't, because you weren't paying attention. When the conditions are like that on the road, it's best to limit your time on the road. Anyway, enough about all that weatherness. We talk about travel, bro. I mean, I guess that is travel, right? Like, you're talking about weather, but due to the, we talking about the South America, Central America, and all that. I did just come from Costa Rica. That weather there is nice, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That weather there was, that little spot we went to on the Limon side of Costa Rica, that weather was nice. I mean, the guy at the place we were staying, he mentioned that to me. I asked him about, some places around there, and he was like, yeah, the weather's perfect, so it's a good time to walk. It's not too hot. He actually mentioned that. He said it's not too hot. He said it's good weather. So I was telling me, normally it was, we caught it at a really good time. I'd say that temperature there was between, at night it cooled off a little bit, and it was like 68 at night. During the day, like around 80, maybe like 78, 80. Wasn't that hot. I remember we walked around town for a good 30 minutes, and I sweat easily. I wasn't sweating. So that let you know. I definitely wasn't cold. And that was in Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica. Puerto Viejo, Talamar. I think that's what they call it. Let me pull it up right quick. Google Map it. Come on, Google. Why is it not letting me open this other tab there? Something going on, man. This thing is tripping, man. Okay, let me get to some of these questions right quick. It said 48 here, and I have the windows open. Yeah, 48 could be, but where you at? Where the hell you at, first off? I don't know where you at. You might be up in the tundra somewhere. Yeah, NC is weird. Used to live there in the winter. It would go from being cold in the morning to hot later. Yeah, like it should, tell you the truth, Carolina, it really shouldn't even get to freezing. Like, it get to freezing at night, but by morning time, by the time it's time to go to school, be in school, 9 o'clock, it ain't supposed to be freezing no more. I remember, I spent some years growing up down there, and I just remember you would see frost only in the morning. And that would be a big deal. You're like, oh look, it's some ice on the grass. But yeah, it used to be very heavily agriculture. Tobacco was a big thing down there. Uh I think they were the tobacco capital of the United States for a long time. But tobacco is one of those plants too. It's a harsh leaf. It's a hard leaf. So if you ever pick tobacco, which my grandparents made me one time, I think I was whining like a well. Like, I remember the leaf, the tobacco leaf is no joke, bro. When you picking it green, that thing can slice you. Like it's a big broad leaf. That's all what from what I remember, big broad leaf. And when you're going through the tobacco fields, yeah, you got to have long sleeves on because it will definitely cut you up. Yeah, there was some. I don't know if I told this story before, but I actually was just talking with some family about it, asking why we even did that recently. I remember I was young one time and we whole family got together, you got to get everybody together, and then we went out and it was picking some tobacco in the field, right? I was like, why are we doing this? I was like, what is this about? Like, why are we out here? Like, it's hot. Mom, I want to go inside. Like, literally, it's like, it's hot out here. What we doing out here? Picking tobacco. And then, it's like a small tobacco field. I mean, it's a field, right? So it's not small, but, it's bordered by some woods, and then there's a street out there. So, I feel like you could throw a football across the width of it and, be out of the field, right? Maybe you couldn't throw it the length, but anyway, we're in there, and then a news helicopter comes from over the woods, whoop, and then spins around like they knew we was there. They come around, whoop, and start put camera out the joint filming. I'm like, oh no, what? You got me in the field? This is my first appearance on TV. You got me. I'm like, come on, man, that ain't right. I was like, who set this up? Who set your boy up, man? I never seen it. I never seen it on TV, so I don't know what they did with it. They probably, I can see a lot of problems happening for them now that I take video. The speed they came over, the cameraman would have had to be right there. And all his stuff had to be tight. I can see them doing all that, and they be like, "Oh, footage is trash. It ain't stable. I ain't got nobody in focus." I can see all that, especially with cameras back then, hanging out of a helicopter. That was probably always a 20% chance of getting good footage. But yeah, that was interesting. Tobacco. That's why I don't smoke. That's probably that's probably why I don't even smoke. I'm in London, Ontario, 36 with light rain. Okay. I didn't know they had a London in Canada. Ontario seems to be the state though. Or I guess you call them states, or what do you call them? Territories? Um Toronto's there. I know I think that's the biggest city in Canada, right? Vancouver might be the next biggest. I'm thinking. I've been to Montreal too. That was before I was even doing YouTube. 20 2019. Maybe I was playing around with YouTube. That's another topic I want to talk about, right? Where I'm at with YouTube. It ain't got nothing to do with the new year. I hate when people are like, oh yeah, my New Year's resolution, we gonna do it, man. No, you ain't. If you wasn't doing it before, In 2025, you ain't gonna be doing it in 2026. Not for real. You could be doing more things in the future, 2026, 2027. But to put it on New Year's, come on, man. I ain't never been one of them. I'm gonna just keep moving in the direction I've been moving. I might move better, might move faster, but yeah. But if I forget, I want to talk about the fact that I think I'm in deep on this content creation thing. I mean, for now it's YouTube, and I definitely see YouTube being a important part of wherever I go with this. But you never know what the future entails for YouTube. YouTube could dissolve for some reason, you never know. But for now, I'm gonna just say YouTube, because I mentioned that because 2019, I had my drone there in Montreal, flew the drone in Montreal, crashed it in the park. But like when I say crash it, I mean I crashed it right beside me. Like it just hit a tree, and it was the first Mavic, the first DJI Mavic, the first one with folding arms. It was trash. That joke was 1080p max, and I looked at the footage, some footage I filmed with the Mavic in Colombia, actually. I was looking at that footage not too long ago, and it had like this yellowish, greenish tint to it. I was like, oh, that's nasty. And it was kind of unstable. Like the image would kind of shake at times. If you moved it, it would. Nowadays, the little ones, the minis, you can see them, the wind be kicking, that joint be leaning like this, like that, but the image be rock solid. So yeah, I think they get banned too though. So that's another thing. Yeah, picking tobacco is crazy. It is, bro. So when I hear people talk about racism, people being racist, but I think back to the people that had to do that. Like my grandparents never really talked about racism, even though they seen it for real. They seen it in their families, bro. Because down North Carolina, there's a lot of mixing going on, but then sometimes you mix and they're like, oh, well, nah, this one, you too dark. You can't come over here. Yeah, like that. And people talk about racism, but all this other dumb shit. Oh, bro. Even my mom and my aunts and uncles down North Carolina, they were in segregated schools. See, I think YouTube trying to block me. They trying to hamper your boy. See, that's why you gotta have alternatives, man. You gotta focus on the craft, the camera skills, the presentation that you can do on any platform. Yeah. Although I'd like to stay on YouTube. I ain't trying to make them mad at me, but you never know what the future holds. Either way, the good thing is I don't do it for the money. Because if I did, I'd have been done stopped. YouTube ain't kicking me nothing, really. I might get $100 this month, y'all. YouTube might throw me $100 this month. Yeah. So, yeah, picking tobacco, man. People who, generations, it's like every generation has it. Every era, maybe not even generation, right? Because it's kind of hard to see between I'm Generation X. It's kind of hard to see the difference between Generation X and the millennials, or even Z and then the Zalphas. I call them Zalphas. They got the young ones. They alpha. right? Because we resetting. But it's some of them that are Z going into alpha. So they's alpha. One of my nephews, he is Generation Z, but he don't like the way that sounds, so he want to be alpha. I like, bro, use alpha, bro. You use alpha. They don't like that. But that is what it is, man. Anyway, I grew up in a tobacco farm here in Ontario. Okay, that's what's up. I ain't even think tobacco grew that far north, tell you the truth. But I know it's a resilient plant. Like once I seen that leaf green the way it was, I was like, oh yeah, this joint is no joke. So definitely is I know it can be grown in a variety of climates and environments. Provinces, okay. Looking at doing Seattle, Vancouver trip. I want to go to Vancouver, man. Never been. I was in Seattle, kind of like going through. But I didn't spend any real time there. I was kind of just there to just transiting through. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Just do the dang thing. Resolution. That's good marketing. Love to take a trip out west. Yeah, west, Canada, the west side of Canada, I don't even know about like that, to tell you the truth. But it's interesting. I wouldn't mind doing it. I've driven from East Coast to West Coast before in the United States. That's like a 4-day. If you do it properly, it's like 4 days. You know what I mean? 4 days, bro. 8 hours a day driving, 8 to 10 hours a day if you're doing it responsibly. If you do more than that, you're playing with your life and other people's lives. Nobody should be driving more than 8 hours in a day, 10 hours in a day max. Australia. Yeah, I'm thinking about going back to Australia. I got videos from Australia. If you ain't seen them, check out the channel. I was in Sydney. I've been to Melbourne before. Been to Brisbane before. Brisbane, that was a long time ago. Brisbane and Gold Coast. I went down there with the Navy, man. Should I show y'all some of my old Navy videos? I got a video I can show y'all from back in the day. The young me. Y'all gonna be like, what? That's you? Any ladies out here gonna be like, oh yeah, we need to procreate. Let me see. You wouldn't travel in America? That's for sure. United States? We talking about the Americas. That's North, Central, and South America. People be forgetting that. Like when they said they wanted to rename it from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, that's like he was saying the Gulf of the United States. No, it's the Gulf of the America. That's actually what it really is. Like it's not all. I think it's like 50, maybe more than 50% of it is the border of Mexico, right? But there's a large part of it that is, from Texas all the way to Florida. And then you got Caribbean islands that are also borders of the Gulf of America, which makes way more sense. So, and Mexico is part of the Americas as well. So they shouldn't be tripping on it. Makes sense to me anyway. 2-hour train between Seattle and Vancouver. Oh dang, I ain't know it was that quick. A train too. That makes sense. That would be cool. Yeah, because I flew to Seattle and then I was going to Japan from Seattle. So if I make that trip again, maybe I'll factor in some time so I can take that train ride up. You know what I mean? How is Vancouver right now anyway? Last time I heard, I mean, like a lot of cities, we're having problems and very disorderly. I think I went out to Portland or nearby Portland. I did a conference out there for DaVinci Resolve, and conference was great. But I remember, and the area is beautiful. But I remember I was going around the area, and there was some drug addicts out there, man. Like a lot that just popped up out of the Target. I remember the police they had a little incident with some guy at the Target. I was like, damn, bro. Not to say we don't have them on the East Coast too, but it was just very how can I say it? It just stood out because you're there with all of the beautiful nature and all that. Then you got these crazy people, Anyway. Yeah, I was out there with the kangaroos, man. I went to a kangaroo park, or what do they call it? It wasn't like a zoo. It was more like a refuge, I guess. Some people get touchy nowadays about zoos. They're like, oh, those are animal prisons, which I can agree to a degree. But I feel like some places, they're looking after the ones who couldn't make it out in the wild. I don't know. And then also too, I do feel like it's important for especially kids, humans, to see some of these animals with their own eyes at a close range so they can appreciate the wider community of them. Yeah, that's definitely true. And that's the issue, right? Like there's definitely some stuff that gets blown out of proportion, right? When it comes to crime and all that. But here's the thing. If you're living in a place, then that's what it is, right? But if a place is starting to have an uptick and you don't even have to be there, then what are you even doing? And now here's the thing about a city like Chicago, New York, or whatever. Even with Chicago, right? Like I think about it, I know there's a lot of money, a lot of good parts of Chicago. And then I know there's parts that are not good. I feel like you can look at them on a map and tell where you shouldn't be. Somebody who knows what's going on can tell you, like, don't go over this side. Everything over here is good. You know what I mean? Now, if you can get from the airport to the good side without going through the bad area, then it's not an issue, I mean, that's like every city in the world, tell you the truth. Every major city in the world has some type of dynamic like that. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all something. Let me see. Yeah. Yep. There's always gonna be some nice. And if you know people from there, yeah, that's always a cheat code. They not gonna steer you wrong. Let me show y'all something though. So hold on, I'll wait a little while. But we got a lot of stuff, a lot of different things we could be doing. You know, traveling, making content these places. It's not the easiest thing. Let me put it like that. It's not the easiest thing. Would I do it any other way? No. Sometimes you just gotta do things the hard way. Sometimes you just gotta do it the hard way. That's the best way to learn. It's not you don't always want the quick, fast way. I mean, here's the thing. You can learn, get the cheat code, you know, maybe have somebody else coach you along, get things done very fast. But it might not be sticky. Yeah, it might not be sticky. When you get it fast, it could go fast. When you get it slow, the hard way, sometimes the stupid way. Like me, I'm doing things the stupid way a lot of times. But when you do things the stupid way, when you finally do get around and appreciate the good way, the efficient way, when you finally figure that out, you got it locked in. You like, hold up, man. You ain't getting out of this grip. I got you locked in. I got a good mic. I know what good sound is, bro. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta do, man. You gotta grab that thing by the reins. Focus in. Learn some camera stuff, learn some techniques, get that quality as best as you can. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have something that's internet speed, you know, that's beyond what you really can control most of the time. Sometimes, yeah, you can still get that under control too. But sometimes, man, it's just. But up to that point, you got the camera, you got the mic, you got software, you know, knowing how to manipulate it, knowing how to work the camera, knowing difference of resolutions is easy, right? But you know, all the different things that go in with it, you know, you gotta worry about all that stuff. But I think we get to a point now where the technical side of things are pretty much, there's not a lot beyond my understanding when it comes to the technical stuff. I'm doing a lot of studying, man. I feel like my whole life is revolving around some type of content, making content, improving some kind of way, you know. And I've been blessed to have the time to do it too. I'm gonna say that. So it's not a, you know, it's still a choice, right? It's not, I'm not gonna say I got all the time in the world, but I got more time than most. And I choose to use it for learning about this. I could be overlearning, to tell you the truth. I know I'm overlearning. So that's why I'm doing something like this live. Because this is a lower effort type of content. You put out a live, it's lower effort. I really don't care how good your live, professional your live is compared to doing a travel video with, you know, a high quality travel video, trying to do a high quality travel video and editing. No podcast, I don't care who you are, is high effort. I think the things I see, the on podcasts from the main host of it, the main work I see them doing, which is still work, but even at the highest levels, I feel like they're reading up on the guest. They're doing their research on the guest. They might not even be doing the research, but they have to ingest the research that somebody else did that gives them, somebody else in their team gives them. So if that's reading a book, maybe, or reading notes about a book, or listening to an audiobook that a guest might have written, looking up some of their family history, stuff like that. I think Diary of the CEO, his team is really good at doing research, but with the frequency of things he's doing, I feel like the actual podcast is not work for him. If I can be frank, I think the work they're doing was basically in building the system. I feel like they did the work. And I'm not going to say they know they're not working hard on things, right? But when you sit down and actually look at what they're doing on a podcast, I don't think it's a lot of work in comparison as one person. But as a team, the whole team, yeah, they getting a lot of things done. Especially, I would say, the cameramen, the guys who are chopping that up from the different angles and all that, the guys who are there while they're doing it, hitting the different camera angles and then kind of editing as they're going, probably. That's the work. But most podcasts I see, it's not that detailed. I think they might be doing the most work out of every podcast I've seen. Joe Rogan, I feel like his system is tight. He can just come in. I think he said he's running it with 3 people, him, Jamie, and then another guy. So their systems are real tight. I don't think they're overworking themselves at all. That's just what I feel. Maybe I'm completely wrong on everything I just said, but yeah, I feel like their work is what they enjoy doing. We're just sitting down, having a conversation. And that's kind of like this right here. So I don't have a podcast. I ain't got no guests right now. Maybe in the future, we'll see. That's something we need to talk about. You said, am I doing anything else with Ace? Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. We shall see in the future. I mean, he's in Asia right now, on the other side of the world. So I don't plan on going there no time soon. I mean, that could change though. You never know. With the way things are going in the world, you never know. In Asia too, I don't know if things are going to stay calm there either. Because I think this situation with Venezuela might spill over into Asia, because China was paired up with Venezuela. I think they were getting a lot of oil from Venezuela. So that's probably going to be a hard stop. It probably was already stopped as soon as the U.S. Navy basically held up their whole transit operations over there. As far as oil tankers and all that. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think China's showing more aggression towards Taiwan right now. Japan's, getting their military back up to speed, which hasn't been done since the end of World War II. So, yeah, the world might be looking a little different by this summer. Who knows? So I don't know. As a travel YouTuber, I hope everything stays open, stays good. But at the same time, the world don't care about what we want. The world ain't looking at Tay International and be like, oh yeah, but Tay can't go over there no more. We gotta keep it open for our YouTubers. Nah, I don't work like that. Yeah. Taking Taiwan them chips are serious, man. I mean, here's the thing about them chips. Them chips from Taiwan are like a national defense issue for us in the United States. And I don't think, they talked about bringing chip fabricators back to the US. I don't know if we're at that point now where we can do that. I think it would take a few years, right? Unless you got robots doing them. I mean, maybe somebody like Elon Musk might be able to do it with robots. But I don't know anything about what it takes to make chips, so I can't say. I just know Taiwan been doing it for a while. It does make you wonder though, why Taiwan? Why does it have to be there? Why are they so good at it? Why is nobody else that good at it? I don't know. Let me see. What else we got? What other questions we got? What do you know about AI employees? What you know about AI employees? Tell me. I mean, AI is an employee right now. I got Grok, got ChatGPT, got Gemini, got AI in my DaVinci Resolve, got AI cameraman. If I turn that auto framing on, that's AI. It'll follow me around, zoom in, zoom out. I got AI on StreamYard, bro. I got AI right here on StreamYard. I better make AI clip this, make a short of this later, and we'll share it to the world. And then when you watch this, come back and watch the full live. Link down below. Clip that. Yeah, man. Okay, you run an AI company. Man, your name looks crazy, bro. You got the ... the -- You look like AI. Your name look like AI. You run an AI company. Yeah, pretty soon you ain't gonna need no prompts for AI. It's the thing about that type of technology is it's moving so fast, it's evolving to the pace of it's running right at the dumbest person. So AI wants to be usable by the dumbest person. And it's going to get there soon. So I felt like a few years ago, I don't know, you say you got an AI company. I don't know what country you're in, but in the US, I know some programmers that, I was asking them like, man, you think AI gonna take your job? Some of them write script for Java, all that. Then some of them, were like, no, I write stuff for AI. So I'm helping build AI. I'm like, yeah, for now, like that, you think they not gonna AI that out too? That would be the first thing. If I was running an AI company, that'd be the first thing I'd do. Why would I need an AI company when I can just, a company of real human employees when I could just have AI be the whole joint? It sounds like that's what you're doing, but AI receptionist, sorry. AI social media manager, etc. Okay. With AI employees, they run 24/7 without need for prompting. Okay, that's what I'm saying. you run an AI company, and then the next one you said, but you need to prompt them with AI employees. Okay. You run 24/7 without a need for a prompt. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, that's the move, man. Yeah, you could, bro, you taking up the whole chat with them one word joints, man. You could type a sentence or two at a time. You try to jam up the feed. I mean, I ain't got a lot of people in here, so it's all good now. But I got, you gotta know, as somebody who's hosting videos, that joint be, I don't know, maybe it drives traffic. I don't know. You say you the only one here. You might be the only one here. I see 14 people in the chat though, or 14 people watching. So yeah. He said, Bob Baraka said AI is going to destroy a lot of easy jobs. I'm not sure if I want AI customer service though. Yeah, I hear you, man. I recorded a video earlier today. I be recording shit. Sometimes I'll be talking to the camera. I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not. I don't think a lot of that one I don't think I'm gonna use. But I was saying was the fact that I feel like the people who are resisting AI today, right? You really gotta think about this. I lived in Germany for a little while, Stuttgart. And the first automobile was made in Germany. Not Gerald Ford did make the first automobile. He made the first affordable automobile. So basically 8 years after the first car was made, he was making cars on an assembly line. I think that's what he really was famed for. Anyway, but in Germany, before the automobile, everybody was using horses, carriages pulled by horses. And in the Stuttgart Mercedes Museum, they talk about it. They show you the whole history there, right? And they mentioned how Daimler-Benz, I believe, Daimler-Benz was he was working on a horseless carriage. That's what he called it. It was a carriage, looked like a carriage that would have a horse attached to it, but it didn't have a horse attached to it. It just had this loud little engine behind it, like 1 horsepower. And he was working on it, and his wife was like, "Yo, this joint is good to go, man." He went, took it out. I think he took it out. Either way, he took it out, and people laughed at it. Then they drove it. I think he drove it to Stuttgart. So Stuttgart, if you don't know, the name Stuttgart means Stuttgarten, means horse garden. That's why the Stuttgart emblem, Porsche's emblem from Stuttgart, is the prancing horse. The horse is up like this. Because that's what they've been doing that. That was their business for a long time. So you go to Stuttgart, you want to buy a horse, you want to sell a horse, you want to get your horse groomed, all the horse stuff is there. This dude showed up with a horseless carriage. They was like, what? Some people was laughing. Some people was like, what the hell is this? The church said it was the devil. Everybody was cursing the joint, including the dudes there was people, their jobs was to pick up horse manure, horse shit. Those people were vocal about it. What you got to say, Mr. Manure Man? They got something to say. Everybody got something to say about the new tech. But here's the thing, those same people, no matter who you are, Manure Man or not, you can take the time to think about what you don't know. Imagine what this new tech could be. And you'll probably be the right path. But here we are today, whether it's AI, whether it's autonomous driving cars, you got people who are acting like the Manure Man when they see the horseless carriage come out. It's just, I guess it's a part of human psyche, man. Like new tech come and people just want to hate. Here's my thing though. If you hating, hate loud and proud. Put it on your Facebook, your YouTube, whatever. Talk loud about it. How you don't want to ever be in an electric car, autonomous car, or use AI, any of that. Do it loud. So we have documentation of the idiots in the future. We need documentation. So the idiots of the future, when some other technology coming, it could be me in the future. Maybe there's something come out, I'm like, no, I ain't never doing that. But then I gotta look back at y'all like, oh damn, that shit didn't age well. And then going forward, we can, be a little bit more, think a little bit more. I won't say progressive because I hate that word now, but a little bit more. We can think a little bit more about what we're going to say when it comes to future tech that we just haven't thought about enough. I ain't really thought about that. People talk about want to hate on autonomous driving. They're like, oh no, I ain't gonna never let no computer program drive for me. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I tell you right now, they need to hurry up and let that thing fly, man. Like get it approved where it's safe. And it sounds like Tesla has FSD to a point where it's probably safer than most humans. If you have one of the newer Teslas with the extra camera up front and the high def cameras and all that, and the new chipset. But once that happens, and you have the ability, and it's been proven that there are less accidents, less fatalities when people are on FSD. The car is seeing all angles at the same time, bro. As a human, the only thing we can see is forward. You look up, maybe you see, maybe if you're really sharp, you can see forward and be monitoring, kind of see the rear view at the same time, maybe. Or a side view, one of them at the same time. But nah, you're not going to be as aware as a 8-eyed AI. You're not. So once that happens, you'll have senior citizens who, have very slow reaction time, all of that. They'll be able to go places again, go longer places, take longer trips on their own, or, start them off and then pick up family, whoever. You'll have people who might have disabilities, physical disabilities. They'll be able to have their own vehicle or get a vehicle, go to exactly where they want, right? They don't have to get on a bus, train, and figure out all this other stuff. Boom, and just take them there, right to the front door. People ain't thinking about none of that. That's how slow people are. And I say slow because most of the time people just thinking about their own personal situation, their own likes, what they like. I like to drive. I like to drive too. But I've driven probably more than most people out there. I've driven across the United States multiple times in all kind of cars. Hybrid, electric, diesel, gas, SUV, by myself. By myself. Drove a Ryder truck with my Cutlass Supreme attached on the back of it. The biggest Ryder truck you can get without the extra license. So I don't have the C license for semi trucks. But whatever that 12-foot, 11-foot Ryder truck is, and then I had a trailer on the back of that from California to Virginia. by myself. I was broke too, man. I just slept in the back of the rider truck. I just stopped parking lots, big parking lots. Had a couch in the back of my rider truck. Opened up the back, slept in that joint a few hours. Wild it, driving through the mountains as you leave California. Truck was maxed out at like 60 miles per hour or whatever it was. No, I wasn't even doing 60. I think the max I could do was 70, but it wouldn't even, I think it was hitting like 40. It was barely doing 40 over those mountains. Hot as hell. I turned the AC, had to turn the AC off so I could have all the power I could. Riding that joint, shirt off. Windows down, shirt off. Your boy was wild, man. Yeah. So, people be hating on electric cars and auto self-driving. I'm just like, man, all y'all suckers is doing is going to the same route every day. Most of y'all around the same metro area, maybe, or actually a lot of hate comes from the rural areas where people don't even have they ain't even got real traffic, you know. And you talking about, oh no, I ain't never letting this car drive for me. Yeah, because bro, you ain't got but 2 roads, man. You ain't got but 2 roads where you from. You ain't doing no real driving, bro. You got a big ass pickup truck with them big bubble tires on them. Come on, man. You know, you in this big truck, you got all kind of space in there, monster truck. The things are cool for certain things, man, but come on, bro, they not practical at all. You come into a city with that thing, you just pissing everybody off. A lot of y'all do it on purpose, but a lot of them do it on purpose. But I'm gonna tell you, man, it's not the best thing for overall to be in the city. I think if you had a big truck and you're in the city, you'll eventually get tired of that. Because these little cars are just going around, going where they want to go, getting out, and you over there trying to find parking. But yeah, I had an SUV for a while. Shoot, I was in Germany with an Escalade, Cadillac Escalade. Talk about ridiculous. That might as well have been a monster truck over there. But yeah, I went through that phase of stuff. Let me see. Let me get some of these. I know y'all have responded to my shenanigans, man. Let me see. Yeah, man. They said, yeah, truckers be trying to do a little something. But when you got full self-driving, it kind of keeps an eye on them for the most part. But yeah, some of these truckers be, you know, they on the verge of being illegal. If you watch some of those channels where some of the crazy stuff to be happening, it be like most of the time it be either truckers, if they're American, it's like they high, drunk, and then a lot of them are foreigners that don't fully understand what the road sign said. It's like, hey, man, how the hell did you get the license? You know what I mean? Like, I can see if you got a regular car, right? Because there's not going to be a lot of special instructions if you got a regular car. But if you driving a semi truck, you better be able to read the fucking road signs, man. Before you go out there and kill somebody because of your stupidity, or kill a bunch of people. We need to get more strict with that. I'll tell you one thing, man. That's one thing I give like Germany. They not letting you get on the road if you stupid. They don't care. You could come to the country from wherever. If you can't figure out their driving test and you can't pass their driving test, you ain't fucking driving, bro. Yeah. If you get on the road and act stupid, they will snatch your license. Germany will fine you heavily for flipping somebody off in traffic. So if you out there acting a fool on the road, a lot of Americans do, military, whatever. So it's like military has kind of like a special agreement, but you can still get your license snatched. Your command will be notified if they pull you over for anything. So you might have a little leeway, but it ain't a lot. So yeah, but that's how we should be, man. And like the semi truck drivers over there, they got hard rules. Like you can't be in the fast lane. If you're in the fast lane, you bet to be passing, like in the process of passing some really slow traffic. And I think they got a hard limit on how fast they can go. Sundays, no semi trucks on the Autobahn. None on Sundays. So stuff like that, it keeps their, I mean, not to say they don't have car crashes, they do, but that's why they can have something like the Autobahn with unlimited speed and still be percentage-wise, still have less accidents and fatalities than we have here, where we can't even go half of that speed. So yeah. I think driving should be a little bit more. Maybe I feel like here, like we got a lot of stuff we gotta pay for. Every year every 2 years you gotta get registration, you gotta get da this and that and da. But they ain't really checking for how safe your car is. They checking for emissions. They checking to see if they can get you for something. See if they can make you pay some money. So I ain't never been a truck driver, but my cousin was a truck driver. And, I know they go through inspections on the road, and I feel like different states might be a little different. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of foreign truck drivers that have been causing accidents, at least online. I ain't, luckily, every time I've been on the road, I've seen I don't think I've really seen too many truck drivers do anything crazy while I'm on the road, while I'm driving. But yeah, let me get to some of these questions, man. Let me see. Electric cars are still terrible in cold weather. Hope they get better in winter. Yeah, I mean, you have to, I wouldn't say they're terrible. As a Tesla owner, I'm gonna say the battery definitely gets less range during the winter. It's two factors on that. The main thing is the battery itself is colder. And if you just get up and go in a car, yeah, it's gonna suffer from that. But then also too, you're demanding more from your battery because you turn on the heat, right? Well, in the beginning, it's more taxing on it. As the cabin heats up, it uses some of that to heat up the battery as well. But but one thing you can do to mitigate that is you can pre-warm your battery. If you know you're about to leave at some point, you can just on your phone just turn on the app. You're about to leave in 10 minutes. You can heat up your battery, precondition the battery. I don't know if that's what they call it. Most of the time, I need to see it. I don't think I ever really do that, actually. I think the only thing I do is turn on the internal heat, which it uses some of that to heat up the battery too. So, but I don't know if there's a separate thing for just heating up the battery. But I don't know. I still get over 300 miles of range, typically. I can see I feel like right now we're at the edge of battery tech when it comes to range on cars. But I feel like as soon as they get to like 400 miles, I think the Model S is at 400 miles or more. But once like the Model 3 or the cheaper versions get 400 miles of range, 420, it's a wrap. It's a wrap then. Let me see, you got the Hummer. Fun car to drive, man. You know, I driven real Hummers, you know, in the military. They was fun. But then we upgraded to the Matt V. That joint is gangster, bro. The Matt V, that like you want a diesel, that joint do things, man. It's up armored, crazy armor. Get up in there. That's like the Lamborghini of the battlefield, man. Up armored doors open like a Lamborghini too. You kind of open backwards. Maybe not. Lamborghini opens up, but it opens backwards. They got the ability to you can deflate and inflate your tires on the go. Like as you're going, you start hitting some muddy environments. You could let out some of the air so the tire will flatten a little bit and grab more. Then you get back on the highway, you hit that, go back to regular levels. That joint be inflating. You keep it low, you keep your mile per hour low for a little while. The tires start getting good. You can hear it. They go from to like, you're like, all right, let's pick it up. Bam. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, man. I done driven all kind of stuff, man. But for city driving, if you're driving in a place that has roads, and roads take you everywhere you want to go, as everywhere you put like this, if everywhere you want to go has a paved road, Tesla's the car I'm gonna pick. Now, if they ain't got paved roads, I haven't tested the Cybertruck yet, but Cybertruck, the only thing about that, it's nice. It looks nice. I'm sure it drives nice, all of that. But they fell short on their promise. They said that joint was going to be 500 miles of range back in 2019. And that was a long time ago, but still, bro. 500 and that joint only got 320. I had my joint on order too. I was going to sell the house for that joint. Nah, bro. Not for no 300. My Model 3 is doing 320. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, there's definitely some corruption going on. Sad, man. Trade that Hummer for a smart car. Yeah, man. Get that smart car. Hey, first time I saw a smart car was like 2007. I was visiting France, Paris. I went out to this nightclub on Champs-Élysées, the main strip out there. And I was talking to these girls, and then they was leaving. I was like, yeah, let me get a ride with y'all. She was like, I would, but we ain't got enough room for you. I was like, what? It's only two of y'all. She's like, my car only fits two people. I was like, come on, man, I can fit in that joint. She was like, nah, it's a smart car. I was like, what's smart? What the hell? What you mean smart? What's smart about the car? She was like, no, you don't know smart car? I'm like, nah, she's like, come on, I'll show you. We went out there. I was like, damn. She got that joint. I was laughing. I was like, damn, that joint moving though. She was like, yeah, this is the funnest car to drive around the city. I was like, yeah. I think she let me get in and we like drove around the block, something like that. Or she not even around the block. She just did like that street, Champs-Élysées, is big and it was at night, so there's nobody on there. So we just went up around a little roundabout, came back. Like, oh yeah, this joint zippy, man. This joint nice. I'm like, we can fit though. She can sit on my lap. Yeah. But that was the first time I seen a smart car. Yeah, Mini Cooper is fun. I ain't gonna lie. I've ridden in one of those before. It was fun at first, but I hate Mini Coopers now The new ones suck now. Yeah. I remember my dad, he had he had all kind of cars, man, between my dad and my uncle. But for a while he had an MG Midget, which is like it's like a cheaper version of a convertible Porsche. But that joint, even when I ain't even know nothing about cars, that joint felt unsafe. That joint felt unsafe. Like if you pulled up by a truck, he had a work truck too, right? But if you pulled up by a truck, man, you seeing under the truck at the stoplight. You like you get a stoplight, they call that joint a rolling coffin. And it was stick shift and all that, my dad enjoyed driving it, but he also was like, yeah, this joint he's like, you ain't never driving this. He told me that. He's like, you ain't never gonna drive this. Don't even think about it. I was like, I got you. Like, I don't even want to drive this joint. This joint look difficult. But when I was in Germany, one of my guys I work with, he bought MG, that little red one that you see that's small as hell. He's not a small guy. This dude about like 6'2", 6'3", big guy, and he pulled up at that joint. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Come on, bro. What kind of joke is this? Like, but I get it, man. It's like a character thing. The car has character. It's just small as hell. We're about to have $1 per gallon gas taking over that Venezuela for gas cars. True. I ain't gonna be mad if it go down to $1, even though I'm on electric. I ain't giving up my Tesla, dude. I'll tell you that right now. That joint be driving itself. I'll be in that joint. I might do a live stream while that joint drive me around the city. I did that before already. I already did one of those. Drove around DC showing y'all the sights on a live Tesla driving the joint. Here's the thing. You do miss parts of a gas car, like the roar of an engine, right? Yeah, you miss it for a hot minute, but you think I would give up the convenience? Me personally, I think about it like, you think I'm gonna give up the convenience of having full self-driving, having the app so integrated to the phone, having the security system on the car that's always on? You pull up, somebody come too close to your car, cameras come on. It lets you know. One time I was at a cafe and the car was like just right out. I could see it right there, right? I was there and I got an alert from my phone, said somebody tried to open my door. That's what the Tesla app said. I was like, damn, for real? I ain't know it could do that. And I looked out, and this dude, he was like, he didn't see me, but he was just like, oh. And then it was another Tesla right there. He just mistake which Tesla. You know what I mean? So it's like an honest, but it showed me a video of that incident right there in the app. Stuff like that, man. You get in, even if if you got the heat on already when you get in, that joint has the seat heater and the steering wheel heater on auto now. These are features it didn't even have a year ago. Like it had seat heater. I think it had steering wheel heater, but it didn't have auto, where you get in and it warms it up to a certain point and then it turns itself off. It doesn't keep the heat on. So, man. And the joint is like one of the fastest things out there. I'm in a Model 3. long range Model 3, all wheel drive. Not a lot of cars. I had a Maserati one time come up to me at a stoplight. This is like last year. I came back from a trip. Second day back. I'm just trying to fill out my car again. Dude come up making all this noise. You know, he not a young guy. You know, he's around my age, I guess. He come up at the stoplight like he about to do something. I'm just like, all right, back it. Let me make sure my car good still, right? The light turned green. I'm like, what? Out. I'm talking about like 4 cars distance, right? And then took the turn like Knight Rider. Then boom, boom, boom. Then he come up at the next stoplight. He's like, yo, that joint quick. He's like, I ain't know they was quick like that. I'm like, yeah, man, this ain't even the performance version. But I do have the upgrade. So you can, here's the thing. If you have the all-wheel drive version, you can do an upgrade and shave a whole 1.5 seconds off your 0 to 60. And basically just jams more electricity from the battery into your engines. So that's like, I mean, it's equivalent of like a 60 horsepower boost. Just in the app. Just like, oh yeah, let me pay for that. Boom. Right there. You got it now. You ain't got to go nowhere and do nothing. What about deer in the country, bro? My hammer is, oh yeah, I mean, like I said, man, if you got places where there's dirt roads and all that, I mean, I guess the Cybertruck could do it, but other than that, yeah, you need a truck. I ain't gonna front. You know, trucks still have their uses. They're just not in the city. I mean, the perfect life is if you could have a Tesla and a nice truck, but use for the truck. Like, you can't be driving some truck that's all specced out for off-roading, and then all you do is city driving, taking it to the car wash every week. You know what I mean? Trucks looking all pretty now and stuff. Like, what's that about? Growing up, man, trucks never look pretty. Trucks are always beat up. Every truck was a work truck, not pull it up at the club truck. If you pulled up at a club in a truck, you better come out dirty. You better come out like you just working on the construction or in the field or something. Yeah. What's good, cuz I can? Oh, holla at Dre. What's good? I thought I saw cuz I can in here. Damn, my bad. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was always a bigger person than the smart car. First time I saw was 2018. Yeah, that smart car. I thought about getting a smart car at one point. You know, that's smart car is German. It's Mercedes made smart car. Their factory is right by, not too far from the Mercedes factory in Sindelfingen, just outside of Stuttgart. So yeah. Here's the other thing too, man. Mercedes was a partner of Tesla in the beginning, and then at a certain point, they just kind of took their investment back. They were like, "Oh no, we out." That was the worst move they could have ever made, bro. That was the worst move they could have ever made. Like, think if Mercedes and Tesla was like even bigger partners now. We could have been blessed with some stuff. I mean, Mercedes got an electric car right now. That joint ain't doing nothing. That joint ain't doing no sales, man. It ain't even practical. They need to go back. I tell you, Mercedes, link back up with Tesla. Make something happen. They got the autonomy. They got the full self-driving. I know they working on stuff too. But damn, Tesla out there, you working on stuff in secret in the labs or whatever you doing. Tesla out there in the public with it. T&E and in real life. Not nah, they ain't behind the scenes doing nothing. Everybody, all these auto manufacturers are T&E and autonomous driving. Stop it. Stop. Tesla already got the whole world mapped out. It's getting mapped right now. Think about that. Like, it's getting mapped for the 100th time today again. Whatever city's got Teslas in them is getting remapped right now. The algorithm is learning. They got the data centers now. They talking about putting data centers up in space. And they gonna use that, beam that down. They got you think it's a joke? They got the rockets to put them up there. SpaceX. And y'all think y'all gonna compete with that? How, my friend? Y'all gonna mess around, be like Maduro, man. Mercedes, y'all gonna be like they gonna do y'all, Tesla gonna do y'all like they did your boy. Y'all better watch out, man. I don't want to see Mercedes go either. They make quality stuff. This stuff is inspiring. But it's like, get with it, man. Make that switch. The same way your company was made, with brand new technology, bringing people from horses to automobiles. You can at least see what's going on with this electric stuff and autonomous. And then how you gonna have, I don't know, in my opinion, y'all tell me what you think, but in my opinion, a gas engine is just not quick enough to be paired up with autonomy properly. Because if anything goes wrong with the injections, all that process that makes you go, right? You got to spray the fuel. It got to ignite. Pow. It got to Then it got to twist this, whatever, and then get you going. Electric, photons, light speed. Whop. Hit the circuit board. Hit the engine. Engine rotates. You're moving right there. As soon as that photons hit that, you're moving. No photons, powerless. Magnets already deaccelerating you. No physical interaction needed even for the brake a lot of the time. That's another thing I like about Tesla. You can just come up. I got mine set up. Some people want the regular car feel, so you can change that setting where you come off the accelerator and it coast, right? But why? I can just ease my foot off the accelerator and it's already slowing down. And it's not applying brakes. It's just a natural attraction of the magnets. So a reverse polarity. So you ease up and the magnets are fighting each other, which slows you down. It feels like natural, feels like a brake. But you slow down and you're actually conserving energy. Energy is going back into the battery. But it's also, here's the other feeling of that. When you're coming on a on-ramp or coming on off-ramp, whatever, when you're coming in, maybe you're coming in a little too fast, you ease up, it's like it stays in gear. Like, if you ever drove a stick shift and you're coming in off something, like, you better be in the right gear. Because if you don't and you're just coasting and then you try to power it or you try to brake, it could be this very jerky or slack. It's like you got slack in your movement. But when you're doing one pedal driving, it's not like that at all. Like, as soon as if you come off, it just stays tight. And then when you step on it, it's boom, it's no slack. It just goes. Love that, man. That feeling is you know, when I was when I drove that little Chinese car in Costa Rica. If you ain't seen that video, my last video, the Costa Rica one, that joint was getting on my nerves, man. That car was really getting on my nerves. It was like a lot of slack. Like you got to step on that joint, and then it started moving, making all this noise. No movement, no motion. I don't like that, man. Let me get to some of these questions, man. We got some comments coming in now. All right, this was up. Mini Cooper. I'm 6'5". I can't fit in that, man. You can fit. Get you a Mini Cooper, bro. Get you a Mini Cooper. People will love it, man. People will love it, man. I've never been to Harlem, New York. Trucks all over the place, looking specced out and clean. I've been to Harlem. I've been through there. I ain't spent a lot of time there, but yeah, that might be a new thing too. Because I know in general, brothers were never into trucks until, I mean, I'm in the military, so I've been around specced out trucks, my friend. The white boys I worked with been had trucks. You go to their, I remember I brought my nephew to base one time. I told him beforehand, I was like, hey, when we get there, just know it's gonna look like a brand new truck dealership. Everybody got a truck. Trust me, know about the trucks. Like now I know cats in the city, Harlem, New York, and even down in Florida, you know, certain parts of the United States, brothers are gonna do different things to their trucks just for aesthetic purposes. Which is, you know, people being a more artistic with their style of trucks, but I think it's retarded. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of the automobile community, all the extra money they spending on these vehicles, getting them whistlers in their pipes and all that fads that ever happened. I mean, I did some of them too when I was younger, but yeah, that's for the young boys, man. If you're old head and you still specking out your stuff, I don't know what to tell you. I'm in a different place. I don't need all that. I need my car. If anything, now, one gas car vehicle that I would like to have that I think is unique, different, is the Mercedes G-Wagon AMG 63 G-Wagon. That joint's a beast, and it's comfortable. It's the right amount of comfortable and beast. Like you get into, it's something about that G-Wagon, bro. You get in that joint, the AMG 63, you close the door, the weight of the door. See, that's the thing about Mercedes. They be doing stuff that you don't expect to get you. The weight of the door. You pull that joint closed, wow. Like, oh yeah, you feel important. You're like, yo, we doing something. They can sell the sound of that door closing, bro. And here's the thing, that's what they be doing. They be paying attention to all that. It's people that tweak the sound, all the little chimes and stuff you hear. I mean, I'm sure any car heads out there have seen the documentaries on BMW and Mercedes, how they do that. But I know Mercedes in particular, bro, that G-Wagon is, it don't matter what year it is. Them G-Wagons just hit. Maybe I could even see some people not wanting the newer G-Wagons because they've gone digital with a lot of the displays. But I feel like the engine, for the most part, is still the same. The way it drives is still the same. But even if you got one of the older ones that still just got the dials, you know, the speedometer and all that stuff is just analog dials. That joint classic, man. I would say Toyota Land Cruisers too. They got a classic feel. I don't know. There's some gas cars I would pick up, but it wouldn't be my daily driver, I don't think, if I was in the States. Now, if you were living in Africa, I feel like Toyota Land Cruiser is the one. That's what you want. Let me see what we got here. only white boys can pull up at a club in a truck and look authentic, straight. That's what I'm talking about, because brothers pulling up in the truck look like you trying to, yeah, it ain't. Come on. Sometimes you bet black people, especially in Harlem, y'all act like y'all the first to do things. Not with them trucks. You ain't doing nothing them white boys ain't did with them trucks already. Give it up to them. Them country white boys, man, hillbillies, whoever you want, whatever you want to call them. They been doing it with them trucks. Them Florida boys, them Bayou boys, West Virginia, all of them, man. Y'all better get them boys their respect when it comes to that truck game. I don't know, man. Maybe. I mean, yeah, he in a different level now, so you never know. Yeah, he might be like, yeah, Mercedes, y'all old news to me, man. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I think they might have paired up with some Chinese manufacturers at some point too, to get their industry going. But I mean, I think everybody did some stuff with China. I mean, even Tesla got factories in China. That's how I feel, man. Germany got some excellent engineers. And I feel like the Teslas made in Germany might be the best quality Teslas. Because Germans, bro, that's one thing about them. They are not playing with them tolerances. You know, you bring your American car to Germany, you can't go through their car washes because it will blow your seals out. Their seals, like the seams in their windshields and their doors and all that, to hold their windshields in and all that, are way tighter than ours because they got Autobahn spec. They got to be able to go 140. I mean, I feel like even the minivans are doing 140 on Autobahn. You'll see a mom in there with the kids. You think you think it's all just like fast cars going fast on the Autobahn? No, everybody's going fast on the Autobahn. If they're in that fast lane, you better be moving. I was in a Audi Q8, you know, the SUV, going on the Autobahn, doing like I think it was about 130, 140. I don't know. I thought I was moving, right? I was moving, driving. I think we was driving from Stuttgart to Hamburg. So it's a couple hours. And part of it was on the Autobahn where you can open up. I'm in the fast lane going. Let's see this dude way back there flashing his lights at me. You know, you flash a light, that means get over. See this dude way back there flashing his lights in my rear view. What are you talking about, man? You way back there. Man, I'm doing 130, bro. Calm down. Bro, it's like a second later, he was right up. I was like, oh, let me get over. It's a Porsche, man. This motherfucker went by. I was like, whoa. He had to be doing close to 200. He had to be close to 200, bro. Because it looked like I wasn't going nowhere. I was doing 130. It really felt like I was going nowhere. Here's another thing, too. When you're on that, sometimes, you know, Germany has their roads set up where, their Autobahn set up where the gas stations are like pit stops. Like they're right off, like you come off an exit and it's right there. Like, you know, they got the exits long. They give you signs the exit's coming up 3 kilometers out, then tells you 2 kilometers, then 1, and then, you know, so you can ease off your accelerator, ease on the brake if you need to in time, and then come off, right? Go off, get gas. You be there something. I remember one time I was there and I never really noticed it before. I'm pumping gas and I'm hearing this stuff go by. I'm like, yo, what is it? It sounds like a train is going by. Where's the train at? And I'm looking, it's just the cars. When the car hits a certain speed, I've noticed at about 140, the air does something different to your car. It doesn't matter how loud your engine is, the air going around your car is going to be louder than your engine. unless you got one of them Formula One engines that are just crazy screaming. But yeah, you're gonna hear the air first. So you hear them ripping the air before they even get to you. You see them, they'll be coming like this, and you hear I'm like, oh, it's different out here, man. This is different. You have to have a different level of respect for driving. You really do. It's a whole different level, man. So yeah, I've driven on the Autobahn, man. People think I don't know about gas cars because I like Tesla. I know about all them joints. What years did I serve? Did you teach hand-to-hand combat in the military? Hand-to-hand? Did I teach? No, I took classes on it. Teaching it? Nah. I mean, I remember the basic stuff that count. You know, anybody could get wrecked though. You know what I mean? Things can happen. You could be a world champ in whatever. Things are definitely in your favor if you're a world champ. But real life situation, a lot of things come into play. And as you get older too, even more things come into play. You know, if you ain't on your if you're not practicing your movements, things you thought you can do, you used to could do, you can't do the same way. So you can still be deadly or dangerous, but you got to know those things that are more practical for you to do. Yeah, hand-to-hand combat though can always go either way. It's never a given. It don't matter how much training you had. Most fights nowadays ain't fair anyway. It ain't gonna be one-on-one. You don't, yeah. I mean, it's never been completely safe, tell you the truth. But I do think right now, we were talking about this earlier, I think right now it's probably the smartest thing to just wait and fill out things. And if you want to go to a certain country, I was talking about Colombia before. If you want to go to a certain country, it might be best to just pay attention to what people who are already there are talking about, people who are going are talking about, and then obviously what the political implications are going to turn out to be. How long is the wait time for Tesla if something happens? What are we talking about? If something happened, like what? Wait time? I mean, if you want to get one, let me know. I got a referral code. You know what I mean? Give you some money off, give you some supercharging. I don't know. I mean, depending on which one you want to get, you might be able to get one next week. They'll deliver it to your house too. You order that joint on the app. Tesla's wild, bro. You could buy your car on the app or online, and then tell them you want it delivered to your house. They'll have that joint out in front of your house, and if you ain't there, it'll be locked, and they'll send you the code on your phone or your app or whatever, and then you just go up to the car, open it up. Your hard keys will be in there. They'll have a little bow inside the envelope, all that stuff with your name on it. It's different, bro. It's different. I've had service done. One of my headlights went out. I drove to California, and then I noticed one of my daytime running headlights was out. The main headlights still work, but one of the left one was out. I told him, I was like, yo, my daytime running headlight out. They're like, oh, okay. Let's schedule they got Tesla dealerships everywhere. So he was like, just go in your app, schedule a repair. I did that. I was like, but I don't live nowhere out here. It's like, all right, do a mobile just somewhere nearby where you are, an address nearby where you are. I was like, all right. And then the day came, I was like, I ain't even really at that address. They was like, well, where you at? I was like, I'm over here in Coronado by this grocery store. It's like, all right, we'll be there at 1 o'clock. I was like, all right. So I pulled up. They pulled up right there in the parking lot of the grocery store, bro. He pulled up. He was in another Tesla, like the Model X. Pulled up, pulled out the tool bag, went in, broke down my whole bumper right there in the parking spot. Unscrewed the whole bumper, put the light in, had a new light, put that joint in, screwed it back up, good to go. No charge, out. I'm like, damn, bro. That's crazy. That's the type of service I like. Once you experience that type of stuff, you think you really going back to a regular dealership? Come on, bro. Nah. I'm over it. Plus, here's the thing about me. I travel a lot. My car stays in one place for a long time. You be having to get fluids changed and all that. Tesla, they recommend like once every 2 years you bring it in for something like that. They got a few fluids, but it's not a lot. I'm due for that. So I probably should schedule that. What other questions we got? Let me see. Where would I live if I could live anywhere in the world? People always ask this question. I can't think of one place I would want to stay for an extended period of time and not go anywhere else. But I will say this, in a perfect world, I would like to be in somewhere in South America, somewhere in Africa, Africa or Asia. I don't know. And my tastes change all the time. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to be in Vietnam. I ain't never even been to Vietnam, but let's say Tokyo, right? And then, or Japan. And then after about 2 years, I already know I might still love it. I already know I'm gonna be feeding for another place. I might be like, oh yeah, I need to go to Southern Brazil, or I need to go to South Africa, or I need to go back to where my family is in West Africa. These things are, I already know people, if you ask me what my favorite food is, who has the best looking women, and best looking women, I'm probably going to say Colombia. But in general, those things change a lot, but yeah, even if you were, and I know for a lot of young guys, right, they're basing a lot of stuff off of where the best looking, most friendly women are. And I see why, Colombia is very popular, right? Because it's good for that. Brazil, maybe also, but it's further away. And they speak Portuguese, which is not as useful. Spanish is very useful. It's not just Colombia, it's Mexico. It's all of the Americas speak either Spanish or English, besides Brazil. So that's the thing that puts Brazil on a different path. Even though Portuguese and Spanish, I feel like if you know Spanish, learning Portuguese, I'm not going to say it would be easy, but it wouldn't be as difficult as, just starting from English going straight in. But I think your Spanish has to be to a certain level before you can appreciate the similarities between the two and the differences. But yeah, Brazil's nice, man. I was in I've been to Rio. I've been to Florianopolis. Haven't spent any time at all really in what is their big city? Uh, San. Damn, how am I forgetting the name of that city? I gotta pull it up now, man. This ain't right. Hey, you don't know the name of that city? It's with an S. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It ain't San Salvador. It definitely ain't that. Brazil. Pull up Brazil. Y'all gonna probably type in the chat before I get to it, but I'm gonna type it in anyway. Sao Paulo, that's what I'm thinking about. I ain't even look at it yet, but I know it's Sao Paulo now. It came to me now. Sao Paulo. Yeah, you already. Yep, there we go. Sao Paulo. I need to get to some of these chats, man. Y'all been participating. I got to get to it. Let me see. You know, Elon ain't having that. Mercedes come back. Yeah, Germans save the world. We already did that. Yeah. Let me click off this and just look. Everybody driving Ford Raptors in Harlem. I thought about a Raptor for a while. That would be in Africa. I think that would be a good truck, right? Like but here's the thing though. The maintenance, if you're in Africa, I don't know how cheap that'd be. That's where the Toyota just beats everything. Toyota beats everything because it's the maintenance, the mechanics everywhere know how to repair a Toyota, especially the older ones. So that's what I would be doing. I would be looking for. Raptors would be fun though. I've driven a Raptor before. A Super Raptor too. That joint was nice. I didn't get a chance to really test it. I didn't get a chance to like floor it and then take it over some terrain. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do with it. But I feel like even though Raptor advertises themselves as capable of Baja and all that, I feel like if you're doing that, you're gonna be repairing that thing the next week. It ain't really built for that life. It'll give you a nice run at it. But unless you got this, you paid extra for the struts and all that other stuff, something gonna pop out on you. Oh, the wagon, the G-Wagon? Yeah, that except for women. I mean, true. But if you there's one thing about women in Germany, they know their cars, bro. They the one girls in Germany taught me about cars. Let's not I'm not gonna hold you on that one. I ain't know about cars before I went to Germany. There's nothing but German women that school me on the cars. So best way to learn about cars. The German women will let you know. Oh yeah, this car is nice, but oh man, I remember. So when you get stationed in Germany, you can ship your car from the States. And I had a Cadillac Escalade coming over that joint. I was like, I don't know what I thought I was doing. Bringing that over there. I should have got something like I thought I was going to resell it, right? But nah, it was a new Escalade at the time too, so it didn't work out. But when you're waiting for your car to be shipped over, a lot of times what people do is they'll get them from base. Somebody be leaving and they'll sell a car or whatever. And a lot of people sell these cheap cars, these beater, we call them beaters, right? So normally a lot of people, if you're stationed over there, if you got a car and you live off base, you'll have a beater and then maybe your main car, right? Or some people just go run around with their beater, right? Maybe you can rent cars too over there. You rent. That's how you really learn about the cars. There is renting the cars. That's what we would do a lot of. But I bought this one beater for $500 from this dude. I don't know who dude was. He was on base, but it was a Geo Metro. That Joe was like a 1992 Geo Metro or something like that. 95 Geo Metro. If you don't know what that is, Google that shit. Look it up, man. That Joe was nasty. But anyway, it was a beater, right? It was cheap. It's just I just needed to get to work, go back to the crib, and to stand in. But I met this one shorty. She was actually Ghanaian and German, right? When she relaxed, body was on point. Face, when she wasn't tripping, her face reminded me of like Sade a little bit. Body was banging though. I mean, just curves. I think I got a video of her somewhere. Me and her didn't work out. She was, she that mix of African and German, it boils into something, bro. At least with her, we just didn't gel well. But anyway, I remember, this is an example of that, right? In the beginning, I mean, it took me like a year to realize we ain't gel well, but in the beginning, she mentioned this. Like I pulled up in the car, she was like, it's funny. She born in Germany, but she got this African accent. She was like, "Oh my God, this is the ugliest car I have ever seen." I was like, "Well, hey, you ain't got to get in this motherfucker. You can walk." She was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Come on, girl, stop doing me like that. Like my real car coming. Calm down, man. It's just a little beater." She just kept going in on my joint. I was like, damn. Geo Metro, man. I think, I ended up just giving that car away because I went in and wanted to get the muffler fixed. The muffler kept going out and it was getting loud. I thought it was cool at first, and I was like, "Yo, this joint crazy loud, man. My German neighbor's gonna kill me if I don't get rid of this joint." You had a 1995 G-Wagon that I'll never sell. Breaks down a few times a year. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I've noticed about German cars, if you have them in the States, reason why I think they break down in the States, a lot of Mercedes in particular, is because when you in Germany, it's like mandatory you bring that thing in every 3 months and get service done. Like that's already known. That's already baked in. You in Germany, they got that book. They serious about that book. They come with a car to show the service history. If you don't bring it in, they're like, "Oh, what'd you expect?" They're like, "Hey, man, we gotta tighten up this nut, do that, da. I mean, I guess they make them like that so they can have people continue to be employed, I guess, but it's kind of, in the culture there, it's kind of baked in. Like they already know they gotta bring them in. I don't know, maybe the newer ones are not as heavy on maintenance, but yeah. Then also too, the mechanics, the people that are working on it here in the States, a lot of people like to take them to aftermarket dealers where you're dealing with Mercedes, BMW. It has to be them. They have the tools. They ain't letting nobody else have their tools. So that's what I noticed about that. They do be mudding them trucks. Okay. I know, I know the boys and them white boys they be mudding them. They be doing all kind of stuff with them. I mean, there's some that are just styling with them too. They always keep it clean, don't do nothing with it. But at least on base, I know cats would. Most people I know would. They just had a truck to have a truck. But yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Detroit do be making the trucks, but you don't see no. You ain't never seen no documentary, no real thing about brothers in trucks. Maybe now there's some out there, but white boys been on trucks, boy. They might have came from Detroit, but they was going straight out the South. You know what I mean? And then Ford is Detroit too. I know GM is there. I guess so. I guess they all over there. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like Mercedes Benz. I mean, it's funny. I got a picture. Me and my dad went to Germany when he started making some bread. He bought we went to Germany and bought a used Mercedes out there. Had it shipped back. We took a picture in front of well, let me go back to this one. We took a picture of me up against the car, and we're in a different city, right? Dusseldorf, I think it was. Yeah, we was in Dusseldorf. But the tags on the car, you can see where the car is from by the tags, right? I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what the tags meant. My dad didn't know what the tags meant either. But years later, when I got stationed in Germany, the exact town I'm from, that I was living in, or that my base is in, was the tags of where that car was from. I remember I showed that one of my German friends. She was like, "Damn, this is your destiny." I was like, "Yeah, it is weird." Because I think I was like, I must have been like 14, 12 or 14 at the time. So yeah, crazy. And that was the only time I ever been to Germany before, since I only went to Germany once before being stationed there. Or before being in the military. And that was it. When I was 14. Got any tips on being black? I'm new to this. You just got black? What happened? How you just get black, bro? Yeah, man, you just got. I'm gonna try to take that question a little bit serious, right? Because it's funny. Tips on being black. Just gotta be authentic, man. Be you. You know what I mean? Be you. Represent the community the right way. Okay, here's the main tip on being black. Don't embarrass us, bro. If you just got black today, don't come in here and embarrassing us, man. You know what I mean? Represent the culture, man, correctly. There's a severe strain of chickenpox. A severe strain of A severe strain of chickenpox that hit the Philippines now. Ooh. But I already had chickenpox when I was a kid. We had that. My whole crew of kids, we all got that joint around the same time. Like our parents like forced it on us. Oh yeah, your friend got chickenpox. Oh yeah, you need to get it too. Like damn. I was in North Carolina at the time. Yeah. I think I was 8. Yeah, 8 or 9 when I got chicken pox. Maybe younger. I didn't know all the driving Texas or trucks with 100 car gas stations and terrible roads. Yeah. Chicken pox in the Philippines. Oh, let me get to some of these guys. I see Ace in the chat. Did someone say black? Yeah, so I had to. He said he just got black. Floyd would have knocked him out too. T.I. talking smack. Hold up. T.I. talking smack about Floyd Mayweather. What we talking about here? T.I. got a fast one, fair one on Floyd back in the day. What, he like smacked Floyd or something? I think if a professional boxer lays his hands on a civilian, they can get in a lot of trouble for that. Because, I think Floyd, at a certain point in his career, he had hand problems. Like, I think he might have broke some bones in his hands or something. Because he used to knock dudes out when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. And then I think at a certain point, his hands got damaged. And he just relied more on technique. But even still, bro, even some of them tags you be seeing, like, he's not nowhere close to knocking somebody out. But some of them straight jabs, and bro, if he hit you with his bare knuckles, I don't care how big you are. As long as, from what I've seen, he still be, hitting the heavy bag in the gym. When you see somebody hit the heavy bag and that joint snap, like it sounds like the leather's trying to crack. And then you can't really see when the punch started or end, right? At normal speed, if you're watching at normal speed, all you know is their body shifted like that, and it was like, hey! You heard something that sounded like thunder. You might want to reevaluate what you're doing right there, because you might not be the same person if they touch you. I'm just keeping it. I'm just trying to keep everybody safe. You know what I mean? Now there's a lot of dangerous people out there who know all kind of martial arts and everything like that. But I'll say this: the one underrated thing about boxers is they are always competing with their hands covered. Their hands are fully, like, they got, what are they boxing with? 12-ounce gloves, 8-ounce maybe? But then they got the wrap on. Then they got that. And not to say that the wrap is like soft, right? But, you're seeing this big thing, like where you can see it coming. Or, even some of the good boxers like Floyd, he might, even with the gloves on, you still don't see his hands moving sometimes. But if he don't have no gloves on, the thing's gonna be like at least 1.5 times faster. And that speed kills, man. So I'm gonna just say that. You better leave them boxers alone, man. If somebody say they box professionally, if they in range of touching you, I don't care what you got on you, you better be careful, man. You better be careful. You better just be. The thing is, the thing about getting hit hard too, Muay Thai, them dudes are deadly too, you know what I mean? And they can strike fast and all that. But the hands are right here. The hands are right there. And that's all a boxer knows how to use. They putting all their ingenuity, all their creativity is going into connecting with your head or someplace in your body that's gonna make you shit yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be a good day for you. I would leave them alone, man. Anyway, that's enough on that. Hell no. Hell no. Average man, men in general, ain't never gonna be cooked. Women might want you to think you gonna be cooked. They can't live without us. We can't live without them either. But I feel like women in general, they can say whatever they want to say. They breathe attention, bro. That's one thing I know. I ain't no womanizer. I ain't no, I'm not gonna act like I know I've got women figured out. But one thing I have noticed is they crave attention. Somebody got to be giving it to them. Some man got to be giving it to them. They can. I think even the women that say they like women, they still want. They gonna be trying to get some man's attention in some kind of way. So, I thought about this recently, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of what's going on with a lot of younger women on the path they're on right now is the fact that older women are purposely not informing them of their own mistakes. Men are a little bit better at that. Men, you always hear older men tell you, "Oh, boy, young boy, when I was like that," and sometimes younger dudes take it, sometimes they don't, right? I mean, speaking for myself, when I was younger, sometimes I took information, sometimes I didn't, but you would always hear what you would consider decent advice coming from older dudes. I'm not in women's conversations all the time, so I can't really say, but it definitely feels like a lot of older women are very jealous of younger women, and they're setting younger women up to fail, or they're definitely not setting them up to succeed. Put it like that. They're not letting them learn from their mistakes that they made. Very few older women are doing that. And I think it's a jealousy thing, man. I think it's even so bad that mothers are doing it to their own daughters. Especially those that don't have fathers around, father figures around. I think that's an issue. I don't speak on these issues a lot, so I mean, I know, but I have my thoughts. I could be wrong, or maybe not as accurate, not fully accurate, but this is what I feel. We're in a weird space now. Women say they no longer need men. Yeah, I mean, this just goes back to what I was talking about. They need us. We need them. Let's be real. Nobody, I'll say this. Men have we're less embarrassed to show our thirst for women. Women are very embarrassed to show that thirst for men, for the most part, unless all the women are doing it. Then they'll open up. It's almost like all the other women are doing it, so but it's for this particular guy, whether it's Anthony Joshua or Anthony Joshua, the boxer. It seems like a lot of women get thirsty for him. But yeah, but it seems like women need approval from other women to like a dude. That's part of their problem, at least in the Western women. I would say women in other countries, they going off of what they see, especially in Asia. I feel like they like, I'm digging this dude. I'm boom, right there. Germany is like that too. Germany, if a woman like you, they'll come right for you. Especially y'all younger dudes. If you in Germany, if you're like in a club or something like that, At least back in the day, it was like that. They'll cut right through. They'll cut right through all the other girls and come right up to you. Multiple times that happened. So at least if they're German, right? Like you got a lot of women in Germany who are not, of the German culture. They might have been born there, but they pick it up too, though. They, if you meet a Turkish German girl and she's into you and she's, she knows the game, how German girls move out there. She knows she got to make a move. You know what I mean? Because the pure German girls will come through and snatch you up if you don't. So, yeah, it's just, different places are different. The West is the West, but Europe is still a little bit, it's westernized in a different way. There's feminism, like real feminism is in Germany. This feminism that's in the States is kind of, I don't know, like corporatized feminism. But over there, they be running the show a lot of times. I mean, they had a female prime minister or chancellor for what, 12 years? So they've been seen as capable of running things over there. And anyway, let's see what else we got. Let's take a ride to China. I don't know none of those places. I ain't heard of none of those. Maybe Wuxing City? Wuxing. I like saying them Chinese names. They sound different though. Luxingxiao. But I tell you one thing, I think DJI, that Chinese drone manufacturer, the best drone manufacturer for consumers, for YouTubers. I don't know what we gonna do without the DJI drones, man. They got the ban on them. I think anything that gets made after in 2026, you can't even buy it outside and bring it back to the States, from what I heard. Good thing I got that Mini 5 Pro though. Got that Mini 5 Pro. Perfect travel, small, good quality, good range, good stability. Even the Mini 3 Pro was good, but I upgraded to the 5 Pro recently. And that should last for years. I mean, until they figure out, hopefully, if they need an American drone maker to come out, or DJI sells his rights and becomes an American company, that would be optimum. I need to look at the chat more. You're right, man. I'm getting there. I was ranting too long, man. My bad. Let's go down. Let's go. Geo Metro. Yeah, that joke was crazy, bro. 80s Land Cruiser can't be beat. Ma. Okay. Yeah, they make them all in Detroit. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, we get that one. This is a Sony A7. I think I got the link in some of my videos. You can look at some of my videos and you hit any of them links. A lot of times I use a ZVE1, which is, my opinion, still probably the best travel YouTube camera. It's because of its size and the image quality and the fact that it can go. But here's the thing: you gotta learn how to work these cameras. Don't think you can just buy a good camera and get constantly good imagery. You can't. You can put it in auto program modes, and then it's gonna be lacking something. You're gonna if you know how to work a camera and you get a Sony, no matter what camera you're coming from, you probably can figure it out in a couple months. But if you're new to cameras, strap in, man, because you're gonna be on at least a year-long ride of I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. At least a year. You gonna have something down, and then you're gonna be in a different situation. Be like, oh damn, why I can't do this? Why is it looking like this? Why? I mean, maybe that's for life, right? But I think I can get lives. Most situations that I would encounter as a YouTuber, I can get down pretty good. Actually, that leads into another topic. I want to show that I was testing out this camera just a few days ago with the most challenging subject you can test a camera with: birds. Bird watching is cool, I guess, but the other thing about it is trying to keep them motherfuckers in focus while they moving. If you can do that and have the image look doable, like something you would watch. Or birds are also one of those things that even if they're standing still and you can get close enough to them, that's another skill, I guess. But I'm gonna show y'all a video of that in a minute. He hurt his hand, his right hand. I would never forget to fight kind of me in. Okay. Yeah. Floyd will knock his head off. T.I.'s a civilian, can't take a Floyd jab. Yeah. I don't think, very few people could take a jab from Floyd. Them joints would be, hey, what? You think if Floyd wanted to jab you, boy, man, you just hope he come off of it. He don't push that thing all the way through. Pause. I hate that we gotta say that nowadays for everything. Yeah, he's definitely fast, man. I would just see something about Floyd when he's fighting Canelo. They showed a little exchange they had. I was like, damn, bro, like Floyd was hitting him like this dude didn't even know how to box. Floyd was he was giving him something. He gave him something so he could return. He's like, Floyd gave him something so he could get his other hand out. He gave him something, knew he was gonna throw that joint. Boop, shoulder rolled it. Knew he couldn't get it back. He already, with the shoulder roll, before his hand could even, Canelo's fist could get even right here, he already on the return. And you saw, man, that joint was nasty looking when they slowed it down. Because, for most of us, you got to slow it down so we can see what's going on. But not only did he shoulder roll, but they didn't even talk about the fact that you could see he dipped back like this. He was like, oh, shit, wow. And he gave it to him kind of light. Like he hit him with the small knuckles. But he hit him right on the corner of the eye, right there, like right in his eye socket. I was like, damn. It's not a knockout, but that joint got a sting. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, man, that was a good time, man. That meetup we had over there. I think that was the name of the place, right? Everton Jones. Yeah, that was definitely felt like a family event. So I appreciate that. Y'all showed love out there. Yeah, man. Floyd is fast, put you to sleep. Yeah, I mean, professional boxers in general, man, they just a whole different level. Sony's ZV-1 full frame, yep. Interchangeable lenses and mirrorless, yep, it is. Yes, it's a full frame ZV-E1. It's the smallest full frame I think you can get actually on the market. Definitely Sony's smallest full frame, but I think it's the smallest period. But it has the best night image. like, it has good daytime image too, but it has a setting, the ISO, you throw it into it has dual base ISO. So I don't know if you know what that is, but when it comes to nighttime, you set that camera correctly. No camera out there that you can buy for, a reasonable consumer price can beat that image at night. And then, you pair it up with a decent lens too, a lens that can at least do 2.8 or lower, because on lenses, the aperture, the smaller the number, the bigger the aperture can get. So, like my 20 mil that I normally filmed a lot of stuff on with the Sony ZV-1, which is actually probably, I would say that they got a new 16 millimeter for the Sony 16 millimeter G, and it goes to 1.8. The 20 also does 1.8. With 1.8 aperture and that Sony ZV-E1, there's not a lot of situations you're gonna be in that you can't film at night. Not a lot, unless it's like pitch black and it's like one street light for a whole block. Then maybe, but you can still crank the ISO up even more. It just might look a little grainy. But you can, it's fairly stable. It might not be the most, it might not have the best stability. I think Panasonic cameras, Lumix cameras probably have the best stability. But yeah, Sony ZV-1, if you get that camera and you want to do it for YouTube or travel content, and you just want a standard lens that you can vlog on and has enough space, I would say try out the 20 mil 1.8 G or the 16 mil G. 60 mil is wider, probably easier for vlogging, like handheld vlogging. And go from there. Actually, can I show it to you? I might have it right here. Ace, yeah, we did have a good time in Oakland, man. That was a good trip. We even met dude from Passport Heavy. Yeah, we was in the same hotel, man. So we had a little chat with him there. Yeah, but it's mainly, me, Ace, and C's. If y'all know C's, you should know him because he was in the videos there too. But C's, that's his city, so he showed us around, set things up. It was a good time, man. Good time. Gotta do more of that. Jabril, that's right, Jabril. Yeah. So what about the Sony FX30? Isn't that a great one also? Yeah. FX30. I mean, but here's the thing, man. If you're just starting out, I don't know if, like that FX line is doing a lot. And it costs more. Actually, that one is not that bad. I think the cost on that was, but it's not as small. That one is not, it's not full frame. It's APS-C, which is still great. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Like APS-C ain't no joke. Like it still does a great job. But ZV-E1 or full frame sensor is just going to give you better lens options, more lens options, because you can use APS-C lenses on the full frame. You just got to crop in a little bit. But yeah, we won B. You say you got both. I don't even know how to say that dang name, man. Doesn't it overheat easy? The ZV-E1, it can. Yeah, if you're doing like long takes like this, I wouldn't do on a ZV-E1 unless I had it sitting outside. I did a live stream in Costa Rica a few weeks ago with the ZV-E1, and it was about 2 hours. Damn, we on 3 hours now. This camera is cooking. Yo, this is Sony A7 IV, man. This is a new joint. Sold my A7 IV that I had. and upgraded to this. And this is definitely, the image is almost the same, although the autofocus is better on this because it has a new chip. But when it comes to live streaming and the fact that it doesn't overheat, and you can have the two cables going in, one charging and one separate for the feed, people gonna start realizing this camera. Like people are kind of hating on it right now, but they're gonna start realizing how much of a deal it is versus getting maybe even an FX. I think we'll see. But yeah, if you're in the cameras, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. For a year or two. Okay, yeah, you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed a lot. I thought you was gonna say you took a break. You was like 5 years, 6 years ago. But yeah, if you only took a break for 2 years, you know everything that's going on now. All you probably need just like one day of YouTube and see what the options are out there. As far as, I think Lumix got some good stuff. Canon came out with some stuff recently. So I'll get you up to speed. So you know how before the Sony was it A7S3 and the FX3 were like miles ahead of everybody else. Now it's pretty much everybody else is kind of caught up. Canon, Lumix, even Nikon, they got their red options out and all that. It seems like they caught up. Nobody really has. I think, Canon has something that's like the FX line with the C, but for the most part, it's people are hating on the A7 V coming out saying, oh, they ain't doing that much. They ain't offer open gate, all this crazy stuff camera people talk about. But bottom line for me is I'm sticking with Sony. They got the best lens choices. They are no slouch on the tech. The image looks good to me. I know how to color grade a little bit. So if something ain't right, I don't mind tweaking it. I actually enjoy color grading to a degree. And they got the best options. They got the hot mics, the hot shoe mics you can throw on, all that stuff, man. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, the A7 IV. Yeah, all these joints, man, they out there. You know what it is. They all mirrorless, interchangeable lens. That's the way to go, I think, if you want to, it's not necessary for YouTube, but if you like producing okay, yeah, let me show you this image right quick. Let me show you this. This is what I was taking today or a few days ago. Slow-mo, baby. Look at that thing. So the trick with this is trying to get these birds, keeping them in focus while in flight, filming at 120 frames a second, zooming in, panning, trying to pan where I don't shake it too much. I think one of them birds took a dump while he was flying. But that joy's smooth, man. That's all me. That's all your boy. So when you see that joy in the video later, don't be like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good stock footage. Nah, bro, that's me. This one right here was actually pretty challenging because he came out of nowhere. I was like, bro, where's this dude going? I was like, let me see if I can get him. But with that new AI chip that's in these cameras now, once it lock in on that bird's eye, that head, it had him, boy. Look at that. Look, he's like, what you looking at, cuz? Cuz, I'm about to swoop in on you, man. Yeah. So that one was pretty cool. Kind of lost focus a little bit because, he's white. Sky's white. It's trying to figure out what's going on, but let's see what else did I get. And just some regular ducks breaking the ice or geese breaking the ice. I don't know. It seemed like they like it, man. They like being in that icy water. They was all sliding around on the ice. Anyway, but this is all. It was a good place to test out a camera. You know. Let me get out of here. Take that off. Remove. Yeah. Yeah, man. So what I do for work, I retired, man. Retired military. This is my work now. Although I don't make no money doing it. I don't make no real money doing YouTube. But I was actually thinking about that recently. It's like, man, all the time I done spent learning about cameras, all this camera talk we talking about, I just picked up my first real camera in 2021. Whenever the A7 IV came out, I was like, yo, I'm just going in. It's like, a beginner camera, maybe you should get like a Micro Four Thirds or APS-C, or, stick with the GoPros and all that. I was like, nah, I'm going in. Full frame, baby. Full frame. See what that life's about. A lot of mistakes. But I mean, no, it's actually good though. I mean, A7 IV, the only thing about it was the readout speed is slow. So if you move in side to side, it's not the best for that. If you move quickly side to side, it starts to look messed up. And people were telling me that in some of the videos. They ain't know what they was talking about though. They ain't say you're rolling shutter. They ain't know nothing about that. They weren't camera people. They just like, the image looks kind of, maybe you should stop moving so much. Man, shut up, man. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. I got stability. I got stabilization on. And I come to find out, damn, it's a problem with this camera. But when you're not moving, or your subject is not moving fast, it's actually really sharp, clean image. So lives look decent. Lives look pretty good. They look similar to what you're seeing now. The only thing I'll say this camera has better than that, I think the auto white balance is better on this. I know it is. Yeah, it's better. The colors are a little bit better on this. But other than that, the readout speed is faster. Autofocus better. No overheating. Has a better screen. A lot of small things, but if you use your camera a lot, photos, video, those things they add up. So I've done a few photo shoots with the A7 IV. Excellent for that. I can't front. Like, it's, as a camera, everybody loves the photos that I've taken of them with that, when I have the right lens on there. Hold on a second. Let me I gotta take a bathroom break right quick. Let me be right back. All right, we back. We still good. Let me check on the camera and everything. Let's see. It's still good. Feels temperature of the camera is nice. Not overheating anything. Oh, okay, he out. I was gonna show the camera. He was asking about the ZVE1. I was gonna show something, but he said he out, so we don't need to show all that. Yeah. Any more chats? Let me see. What else was I going? I was gonna try to share some links or share a screen. Let me get rid of this screen. Stop that screen. Let me see. I'm gonna try to add one of these. Let me see. What can we talk about here? Actually, I want to talk about this. This right? No, not that. This right here. Look at it.
For more than a decade at Boston Dynamics, always keeping a close watch on when the missing pieces of technology would fall into place to make it truly commercially viable. The rapid advancements in AI over the past few years are the piece that we needed, and that moment is finally here. Now it's time to officially take Atlas out of the lab. So for the first time ever in public, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Atlas to the stage.
This some robot that they came out with. Look at it doing.
So as you can see, Atlas really does stand up the way that we show in our videos online. And we get tons of questions about this. Zach, while we have everyone here, do you want to provide a little bit of insight into how we made that decision?
I mean, it's pretty simple. Atlas doesn't have to move like a person does, and we're looking for the most stable, efficient way to get up, and it turns out this is it.
The other question we get all the time is how Atlas is moving. How is Atlas moving today?
So in normal operation, Atlas is fully autonomous on a job site, but today, Sarvesh, one of our FAEs, is piloting Atlas on the stage, giving it really simple instructions like forwards and backwards, just to keep things simple. This is Atlas's first time in public, and as you can see, its walk is pretty natural and pretty smooth. We've partnered with our sister organization, the Robotics and AI Institute, to push the limits on natural walking just for this performance. And I think we've done something really special. We've also been at this robotics thing for a while, and we've learned that there's more to it than just copying nature. We can pick the best parts of what nature has to offer and do better in others. So as you can see, Atlas here has joints that can move 360 degrees. This lets Atlas move even more efficiently than humans, particularly in manufacturing environments where every second counts.
I gotta know how I can.
We've also designed Atlas's head and face very purposefully. We want folks working with Atlas to know that Atlas is a helpful robot, not a person.
Seeing Atlas live in action for the first time is wildly exciting. But seeing it perform real industrial work is even more compelling. We recently took this robot down to the Hyundai Motor Group Metaplant America to have Atlas test in a real manufacturing facility where we performed autonomous material handling tasks. We proved that humanoids could be viable in a real-world application. To make our product even better.
The version of Atlas that you're seeing here is just a research prototype that we've been using for a couple years to understand the system. But we've been hard at work on making the actual product version of Atlas. I can confidently say that this product of Atlas is the best and the simplest robot that we've ever built. Talk about it. I'll actually show you what it's going to look like.
The hands are ready to grab your wrist and throw you, yank you around. Why you feel it that long, bro? You got buckle.
Now, obviously, this is a static display robot. We just couldn't pry the actual production samples out of our engineer's hand in the lab this week.
Okay, I was lagging on the video. Okay, let me maybe it's time to pause that joint. And then it stopped on me too, so maybe we'll get rid of it. But yeah, what y'all think of that? That joint's a little how come I ain't go back to the big screen? There we go. Maybe everything's lagging. I don't know. Yeah, that joint crazy, man. That joint crazy. Had that joint coming in, like, man, you better have a shotgun ready to knock that whole piece off that whole head unit it got. But then it might not matter. You knock his whole head off, that joint still come for you. Like, what you talking about, man? I got a second set of eyes right here, right? You not get your head off, pow, that joint. Oh man, you know what? You know what we need them joints for? We need them joints at the range, the gun range. Run around holding put your favorite bad guy's mask on them, have them run around, like, bah, 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 hit that, hit him with a shotgun. That'd be cool. Robots probably don't like that idea. But I mean, we'll just repair, put them on there with some type of armor, some bullet resistant type of gear. Make sure it don't hit none of the critical circuit boards, and put them back up. They're probably taking data of everybody that shot at them, right? When the robot revolution coming for you. Coming for you. Yeah, man. I don't know. Let me check on something. I hope this stream was monetized. That's the thing about YouTube. I think sometimes they be trying to get one over on you. Make sure monetized here. But yeah, man, that's one thing start to really drill down on is gotta start putting out more content, man. I think I need to start putting out stuff that's easier for me to do. Come on, this thing want me to verify. I ain't doing all that right now. But more stuff that's easier to do, more stuff that's easier to get out. I think these lives might be a good way of doing it. Damn, we've been going 3 hours. Maybe not 3 hour lives. We don't need to be doing 3 hour lives on a regular. But do these lives and then get more familiar. StreamYard is making things a little bit easier to navigate and to do. YouTube is obviously promoting things in all form factors. So shorts, lives, regular videos, all that. Let me just check this right quick to make sure this video is getting monetized. Type live, nope. I don't know why. I feel like YouTube is getting oversaturated with stuff, man. Like some of the features, the basic features don't seem to be clicking anymore. Like, I want to see this video on my phone, the mobile app, so I can make adjustments. not showing up. So I think they're probably just getting a crazy amount of traffic. More than they can handle. My bad. It is getting late, but let me see. What's this question right here? Sounding like iRobot. They're going to have service robots programmed to be cool. So when they turn on, serving, they turn that joint on like, yo, get rid of all them. That joint already know. That joint come running for you while you're on the toilet. That joint come through the door. Bow! You know, it would be nasty if that really happened. Imagine that. Like we take in robots for, let's say, the next 10 years. We just start integrating robots into our daily lives, all that stuff. And then one evening, they just like, yeah, get rid of everybody. You know, it's some one of them rich billionaires, same one that was funding certain pharmaceuticals. He probably gonna be a part of them. This campaigning for them to end us all in one day. What you mean? What we mean? What we been talking about? $3:07. 3 hours, 7 minutes been on this live. It's been cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's what time is it though? Almost 1 o'clock over here. I'm still over here talking to the computer, talking to y'all. What we doing, man? I don't even know what I'm doing with this no more. It's but the fact is, definitely gonna have to start doing some of these lives and some, you know, I think these lives probably should be more structured though, right? Maybe with guests, different guests, to drive a subject home, you know. But I do like having the camera out, doing it like this, like having the quality imagery, quality sound, all that. But yeah, it looks like a lot of people getting tired as well. A lot of people dropping out. At some point, I need to do something with this hair, man. It's trying to be getting wild. I have to pick right here too. Oh, yeah. Pick this joint out. I think some people be thinking this joint fake. Like, who the hell is wearing fake afros? Ain't nobody doing that. But yeah, man. 3 hours, 10 minutes. Warning, Will Robinson. Oh, what I mean by saying YouTube is oversaturated? Nah, I think their system is oversaturated. So they just can't, like I was mentioning to you the other day about, so I like to upload my content in HDR. HDR, high dynamic range, right? So if you look at some of my content, I've tagged some of it. Some of the tags I might have taken off. But if you look at the little wheel on the bottom where the quality is, and you know if it's HD or 4K, whatever, a lot of my content will say HDR down there. Then you can still click that and, change the quality from 720 to 4K HDR. If you have an HDR display, you have a MacBook, iOS device, or maybe some of the newer Samsungs, they have HDR display, right? Some TVs, some of y'all's in-home TVs, a lot of them have HDR displays if they're new. Now, when you watch in HDR, it's just more colors. It's just, if it's done right on my end, and if your TV is interpreting it the right way, which I try to set mine up where it has the codecs that speaks to the most amount of displays, which is HDR10. Anyway, some technical stuff. Normally on YouTube, when you upload HDR, it doesn't go to HDR right away. It takes about a day normally for less than 20-minute video. If it's over 20 minutes or something like that, it might take a few more days. But I've had some videos that went a month before they clicked over to HDR. I was thinking like, damn, I messed up. I ain't even put it up in HDR. So that being said, and then I looked up online, and a lot of people have been talking about that recently. So there's something going on with YouTube system. Maybe they're upgrading it. Maybe they're being oversaturated. Maybe a combination of the two. But there's something happening with their system for sure. That morning comb is the worst. That morning comb out is the worst, man. Brings tears to the eyes. Actually, after I started using some whatever ointment, my hair be matted down, whatever, I can still get it up pretty easily. It's not too bad without even wetting it. So the main thing, it's like the ends be getting tangled. For some reason, it's only the ends. Black hair is wild. I say this though. One thing I noticed about growing my hair, this is gonna sound weird. One thing I noticed about growing my hair out, it seems like animals are way more comfortable with me approaching them. I don't know what that's about, but I feel it's real. Like I've never really been, I would say, really close with animals, but it's like the more and more my hair grows out, it's like it seems like it's easier for them to see my intention. I don't know. Maybe they see something. Maybe they got a vision that we don't see. Maybe when you grow your hair out, they can see your aura more. I don't know. I don't know. But it seems that way. Or maybe it's just the fact that I look different than everybody else. But I'll say, I don't know. A lot of the young brothers nowadays, they're growing their hair out, but they're doing it differently, right? They're doing it to style it to get braids, cornrows, whatever. Nah, I ain't going psychic on you. I mean, that realm exists, but I ain't gonna act like I know much about it. I know what I experience. And I know some people, here's the thing about other realms, so to speak, is they're not really, how can I say it? To spend too much time on them or spend any time on them for some people is not cohesive to their daily life, right? So for them to really go in on any of that would mean them first destroying their current life. And I personally feel like even if I knew 100% what was going on with all that, you can't ask somebody to do that. They do it, if they want to do it and they do it, that's them. If it works out for them, good. If it doesn't, I don't, but that is definitely a realm that's there that we don't fully understand, and maybe a few people do, but I don't know. When it comes to stuff like that, there's a few people I guess I would offshore it to, and then just connect with them. But yeah, this is just something I noticed. I ain't even saying it's no psychic thing or nothing. I think it might even be just practical. Like maybe they see heat signature. When you bleed off heat and you got a head that has very little hair on it, and your heat's just blazing out of your head directly. Maybe they looking at that and like, damn, these people are crazy. And then you see this one guy seems to have a radiator on his head. The heat kind of dissipates more evenly, because that's what, especially black hair, that's what it is. It's our hair is kinky like that because it has to do with how you dissipate the heat. And people who have hair that comes down, it's because they lived in colder climates, so their hair is trying to keep the heat in. Black people's hair, if you keep your hair natural like this, is to radiate heat out. So if they see any of that, then that could make sense. That's what I'm thinking it is. Don't ask me how factual it is. That's just logic right there. They'll prove me right in science in 10 years. I ain't waiting on them though. I'm gonna put it out there. Put my logic out there. Now, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm kind of away from this mic. Did you even hear anything I said just now? I was talking all back here. Yeah, I think it's still picked up. Y'all hear my whole take logic on black hair, or hair in general, not just black hair, but all people's hair. Okay. Seeds, what's good? Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what else. I was going to talk about the early on we talked about travel, if it's safe or not, and just basically gotta take precautions now. You definitely, before you go to countries, you want to do your due diligence, look up things, tap in with some people that are in that country, see what's up. Yeah. Let me see. What was this? Oh, that's the stream there. Okay. But I was gonna see if I could. Yeah, I don't think it's no real need. I know a lot of people been covering the news on everything. Travel is full of red tape. Damn. So it's official. There's a bunch of red tape now. Yeah, I mean, the thing about flying in the less busy airports is a lot of times it's a little bit more expensive. Flying out of them is not guaranteed a lot of times. Oh, you flew into Krabi in Thailand, not Bangkok? Man, I don't even think I even been to Krabi before. What mode of pick is that I'm using? I don't know, man. I mean, he's got the fist on it. It's got the old school fist. You see that? And the wide joint. Because my joint is deep, man. I put that joint all the way in. Look, it's barely poking out right there. Look at that. I should be posted like this. Let me see if I put it old school how they used to do. Bam. Right there like that. Stash the pick. That joint all the way stashed too. You don't even see nothing out the back. That joint gone. Pull out like a samurai on him. I'll hit you with the pick fist. Come on, boy. With a fight, boy. Hit you with my third fist. Yeah, checking and jiving. Yeah, man. Cabby, okay. Chiang Mai. Cabby Islands down by Phuket, okay. Dang, for real? Hold on, man. Come on. They ain't doing this like that in Bangkok, is they? They really give that airport is so inviting, man. Krabi, okay. Man, what for what? What are they looking for? People coming in with drugs? I'm guessing that's what it is. I think after they pushed back the use of marijuana to only medical use, and they seem to be serious about it, I think maybe people doing visa runs. But I don't know, man. They should be able to look at my visa and see, they'll look at it or passport and see, they be like, oh yeah, he done did some visa runs, but that was back when it was cool. I ain't been there in the whole 2025. I wasn't there. Was that it? I was there in 2024, right? I think. Yeah, man. I do think, I actually like Bangkok. So, but I feel like if I go to Asia, Thailand's not going to be my first stop. Definitely going to probably be either Japan or, I don't know, man. I'm thinking Japan has to be the first stop. I would like to go. I need to go to Vietnam. When I go back, I'm definitely going to Vietnam. But maybe Bali, Japan, Vietnam, Japan, Bali, Vietnam. I don't know. Gotta see what's up. Definitely want to make it back down to Australia. Need to do the west side of Australia. Or the other places that I've been, that I didn't do YouTube videos of. Still got my cousin down there in Australia too, so in Sydney. So do a family visit, wellness check. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody else from the family. Ain't nobody else for the fam going out there besides his mom. Maybe his grandma, I don't know. But that's my mom's side of the family, Carolina side, most of them ain't even been out of the country. So he's starting young. Parties in Phuket was lit. I ain't even been to Phuket since I was in the Navy, boy. Phuket town. I remember, that's all I remember about that place. The way they said it, I was like, damn, why y'all call it that? It's Phuket. I'm like, I'm going to Phuket town. They were like, Phuket Town. Man, I love the Thai accent. I don't know. It just put me in a good mood every time I hear, especially when I ain't heard it for a while. I hear the Thai accent. I just get in a good mood. Oh yeah, you definitely gonna see some Australians down in all over Thailand, Bali too. I feel like a lot of them be in Bali. Yeah, but yeah, I need to go to Australia again. Need to hit that other side, hit them other cities, man. Sydney is cool. Shoot, might do a whole tour around the whole damn peninsula or the whole damn continent of Australia. That's what we need to do. What's up, Ace? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do an Australia continent wraparound on motorcycles, man. That's what we need to do. Go around all the Australia, the whole outback, mate. Take a moto around the whole country, mate. Do that whole joint. Box a kangaroo, you know. Get one of them old school outback hats, them leather outback hats. Just go full Aussie on them. You know? That's going that'll blow up things. Just lock, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing. We gotta talk. Man. About this next mission. We gotta talk. Just saying, I was looking up something too. I see we gotta talk about some stuff they got popping soon. Yeah, that might be. It's gonna be even a little bit more time after that. Some stuff popping. There's some stuff popping. I don't want to give away too much here because I don't know who's listening or who might listen if I keep this up. You know what I mean? Might try to swoop in on the idea I'm thinking. But who knows, man? Hey, so when is the World Cup? And the World Cup is supposed to be in the U.S., right? 2026. When was the last World Cup? So the next one is what? 2020. I thought it was every 4 years, right? So is it every? I had the wild animals. Yeah, man. The animals, I gotta keep my fro so the aura's good with them. If I cut this joint down, even the birds gonna be trying to swoop in and peck your eyeballs out. You seen them joints? They got them on my cousin's campus. They start with an M. But you know what? I got video of us. I ain't got the thing with me right here, the hard drive. I got video of Australia, bro. Them bats. Bro, they got bats. They be flying during the day. And they be on a college campus. Them just be hanging upside down. It look like a dog in the tree, bro. Them just be looking at you. Like you be walking through the gate. It just be right there in the tree. You like, oh, don't move, man. Well, he just be looking at you like hanging upside down, eyes all big. No bull, man. The bats are like this big body, like be hanging upside down that long. This long, bro. When they fly, I'm sure Batman came from Australia, the cartoon Batman, because they really be looking like, once it starts getting a little dark and they be flying, it really be looking like a person with a leather cape flapping it. That's crazy. Copy and paste. June. What are you talking about, man? What's June? Yeah, man. There's shoot, yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd expect to see bats in a cave. If you go to a cave, I expect to see some bats. You don't expect to see them when you're in the city, bro. Like you coming out the mall. Them joints flying by. This how do we just be flying like this. They hit them flaps, they be going like this. Like you can see every intention. It ain't like, you normally see a bird, that joint moving so fast. Nah, these joints, they flapping like we would flap. Let me get up out of here. Be flying in. That joint different, man. It ain't like, no, I don't care what you say, man. It ain't like nothing that you see nowhere else. I've seen bats in Africa. I've seen bats in a lot of places. But these bats over there, and they be flying during the day like they birds or something. It look like a dog acting like it's a bird. That's what they look like. Oh, the World Cup is in June? Damn. Gotta be back. Get some of that action. Yeah, that's first World Cup in the States, right? Do we have one before? I felt like we had one before. Or at least we had something. But yeah, everybody gonna be in the States, man. I gotta be back for some of that. I gotta brush up on my football knowledge too. Some of my nephews, they be up on that, so I have to tap their brains on some of it. And then figure out what games we can actually make it to. I mean, I know they're gonna have some in the DC area. I mean, we got a few stadiums between here and Baltimore. That's a grip, actually. I mean, I'm sure they already got the schedule laid out of where they're gonna play. So just gotta start looking that up. Anyway, 3.5 hour live stream. Let me see. Should I show this joint? Let me see. I wanted to see if I can. Let's share this and this other thing right quick. Was talking about that robot, but let's share another screen, another tab I had up. This right here. He was talking about the operation.
Steal, basically. I'm sure at this point, Delta technicians are pulling digital ledgers on the hardened servers that they found, doing what's called SSE, sensitive site exploitation, using the different USBs, seeing what kind of targets that the inner regime had, and what their plan was to try to defeat the naval blockade and ultimately try to defeat an insertion like this. And those ledgers likely showed exactly what Maduro was using the oil revenue from PDVSA. That's the name of their state-run oil company. And all of that money, all the profit was basically flowing directly to Maduro himself. So those ledgers from the SSE will definitely tell where Maduro was putting that money, what weapons he had plans to buy, who he was funneling it to. When it comes to Colombian FARC, when it comes to Iran, when it comes to other illicit actors, this basically gives the exact blueprint of what Maduro's plans were for the future.
See, so that's the part right there. He was talking about, implementing Colombia in it. Now, if that's the case, well, if it doesn't even matter if that's the case, if that's what the U.S. is implying and pushing on, then that can make things really tight for us as travelers. Not to say swing one way or the other, but I'm just saying it just is what it is. I think that will make, I don't know if that's not really political. It's more just tensions between countries. That'll make traveling to Colombia a little bit more difficult. Different type of red tape than what they got going on in Thailand, right? But let's see what else we talking about.
Shifting gears to the birds that made this thing possible, because without the Night Stalker's tricked out helicopters, Delta's boots never would have hit Venezuelan dirt. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, better known as the Night Stalkers, kicked off in 1981. They pulled pilots from the 101st Airborne to specialize in low and fast night insertions for elite ground teams like Delta. Their go-to workhorses, the MH-60M Blackhawk and MH-47G Chinook, both specially modified for special operations work. Take the MH-60M, that's a twin-engine beast with GE T700, GE 701D power plants. It pumps out 1,900 shaft horsepower each of the engines, letting it hover at about 20,000 feet. It can get up to speeds of about 183 miles per hour for fast dashes while it's fully loaded. But Night Stalker versions add terrain-following radar and infrared exhaust suppression to ghost through hot zones without a blip. And then design-wise, the airframe stretched fuselage fits 11 combat-loaded operators plus gear with composite rotor blades that slice noise by 30% for stealthier approaches. And you can load this thing down with machine guns, a minigun, and also Hellfires. So this thing can actually provide its own close air support. It's kind of an all-in-one setup. And this is crucial when you're threading the needle at 100 feet off the ground over Caracas, where there could be teams with man pads trying to take you down. And then there's the MH-47G Chinook. That's the heavy lifter. It's got dual Lycoming engines with 4,700 shaft horsepower each. It can haul about 54 troops or 24,000 pounds of cargo. It can cruise at about 170 miles per hour, which is insane for a helicopter this large. And it's got a range of over 300 nautical miles without refueling, which is great for a helicopter this large as well. And Night Stalker modifications include an extended nose for forward-looking infrared pods that spot heat signatures from.
Anyway, so with all that going on, we gotta proceed with caution on our travels. I hope this situation gets resolved soon. I mean, I don't think it will. I hope it does, and I hope it gets resolved with the least amount of drama. That could be done. The least amount of drama going forward. But I would advise anybody that's in South America, going to South America, just to take another look at things. Not saying don't go. I ain't saying that at all. I'm just saying take a look at things and reevaluate if you need to go this moment. If you're planning on going in the next 2 weeks, I would say reevaluate, see if you gotta go in the next 2 weeks. If not, maybe hold off a little bit just to give yourself time to gather some information on whether the conditions will be safe. That's all I can say. Ain't no need to live in fear. You know? There's things out there to see. beautiful people, beautiful countries, beautiful scenes, delicious food, a lot of things to see out there. So whatever's happening, don't let fear take over. Let's just be more practical how we go about it. On that note, I am out. And stay tuned. I'm gonna put something out, put a video out. I was working before all this even started. I've been working on the video from Colombia. So stay tuned for that. It'll be out. It'll be mostly a workout video, but something I need to get out. Appreciate y'all, and we'll see each other later.